All right, good morning, everyone. Welcome to Market Prep. I hope you guys are having an amazing morning. Hopefully, you guys had an incredible day yesterday. Good morning, Peter. How are you doing today?
Morning, Carlos. Doing great, thank you. Things are, January-ish, which means all the Christmas decorations are coming down. I'm trying to figure out how to Tetris them back underneath the stairs in the basement. You get on with the cold, boring, freezing rain, snowishness of winter. So, that time of year.
Absolutely, man. Best time of the year is gone, which is Christmas, holidays, Thanksgiving.
And well, that sounds harsh.
It is.
Fun is behind us. I sounded that way.
It is, when it comes to holidays, man, it is the best time. Hands down. So that's behind us. We'll find other things to entertain ourselves with, but we'll be looking forward to it again.
Yeah, we can look forward to next year.
Absolutely.
Anyways, all right. But we have the markets to look forward to.
Yes, which has not been dull. We've been getting some excitement here, so not too bad.
Trading this year has been remarkably good. So, if you want a bright spot, starting on the very first trading day of the year, January 2nd, last Friday, we had an excellent trading day. And I would say it's continued. What are we, Wednesday? Hey, it's midweek already. And I would say we've had a couple of decent, trading opportunities. So, I like it. I like it a lot.
Yep. Same here, my friend. Let's get right to it. Wow, Teddy wasted no time. Teddy, welcome to the Lambos and Garbage Truck family, my friend. Way to kick off the stream here. So happy to have you there. You and all of our other Lambos and Garbage Truck members and our viewers in chat and on YouTube and just now on X. So good morning to all you guys. Look at this. Look at this handsome fella over here. I'm just logging into X so I can go ahead and start looking at things. And looks the first thing that comes up. It's the Money Show with Andrew. Look at that. It's a nice shot of the man there. So, guys, if you haven't heard, Money Show Paris, Las Vegas, February 24th, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Tuesday. That's Pacific time. Andrew's going to be presenting there. I don't think you need tickets. I think it's free. I'm not sure, but click on the link and get all that good information there. All right, let's go to our gappers list brought to you by tradingterminal.com. So we have a very balanced out list. Look at this. A couple of things in the green, some in the red. So very balanced out as we are kicking it off here. Some really high numbers here, 91, 42, and then down to some regulars, 21 and 7 and up to 2. So let's kick off with the first one, up 90% VTYX. There we go. This is up. Yep.
Didn't we miss something?
We did. Oh, we did. I did miss something. I missed you. U.S. economic calendar. Here we go.
Yeah, there we go. I knew something felt like empty and void in my life. Yeah. All right. Economic calendar. Absolutely. Because we did have some numbers. We just had the ADP non-farm employment data. Actually came out a little early today, which is interesting. But anyways, came in lower than forecast at 41,000. We do have the biggest one is probably at the bottom of the list here, the JOLTS job openings. That's one that the market actually does pay attention to. So we'll have to see today if it does have an impact. Now, the big asterisk or caveat on this one is that this is November data. I mean, as you well know, we are in January now, which means that this is we're still catching up, it feels like. So this is less impactful than if it was December data, of course. which means that it gives the market license to maybe ignore it. However, I'm hopeful. Usually the JOLTS data used to have like a huge impact, right? We could see the market move, you could trade it. I don't know today. The other two data points probably are going to be less important: factory orders and non-manufacturing PMI. As you can see, the data seems to be all over the place, right? We got factory orders from October, we got the ISM PMI data from December, we got JOLTS from November. Like that government shutdown really threw a wrench into things. The data's all over the place, and that just gives the market license, like I said, to completely ignore it. So we'll see. I don't know if it's going to have an impact, but there now you know what's happening. So I feel better. Thank you, Carlos, for letting me get that out of my
Yeah.
system.
Yeah, absolutely, my friend. Yeah, these numbers, you're right, man. After the shutdown, these numbers, like, do we care? Does the market
Yeah.
care? I mean, it's just like,
Market
okay, whatever.
has said no.
We were 35 days. What was it? 35 days, right? It was under 40, I believe, with no numbers, and the market
Wasn't it
just
2 months? Didn't we go two full months?
was it? I don't remember if it was that long.
I don't remember. How
Um,
quickly we forget.
yes, it was
Oh
definitely
my
more
goodness.
than the last one. It was the record-breaking longest shutdown
Well, 6
recorded.
weeks.
So.
Whatever it was. Yeah,
So, yeah.
longest record. Remember that.
So whatever it was, Spy again just kept doing his thing. Today, man, yesterday hitting all-time highs, and we'll see what it does today. We're just under it. Should be a whole lot of fun going into today's trading. With that, now let's go back into our gappers list, and let's start with the first one. VTYX is the first on deck, actually up 56%. So what a day it had yesterday. If you look at this daily candle, opened up around $8, $7, and man, shot up to 25, then came running right back down to about 10. Today we're gapping up 56% right now, hanging out between what seems to be 1750 and 1556. So, Peter, I mean, just speaking about wild action, not a low flow, by the way, sitting at 60 million shares flow is what I have here. A bioscience company. What is the news that's obviously started yesterday and maybe continuing into today?
Buyout. So yesterday it was the rumor, which is why it popped up so much. And today it was confirmed. Eli Lilly has confirmed that they have entered into discussions with the French regulators to see about buying VTYX Biosciences with their consent. So this is a very friendly buyout, it looks like. I don't see any release prices here, so I think that's why this price is moving around more than you would normally see on a buyout. But I'm looking at the trading here, Carlos. While there's a 1.5 million shares apparently having been traded, I struggled to find it on the chart, so it doesn't look good. It probably doesn't help that. Are these dual traded? I think Eli Lilly is dual traded. I'm not positive about that, but anyways, it's just, yeah, it's not a good opportunity. So we can move on.
All right, yeah, we definitely could. Actually, I don't know if that's a brother. Sorry, I'm here I'm here saying good morning to everybody in chat, and I just read the name. It says Jurika Kovic. I said good morning, brother, but they might not be a brother. They might be a sister. I don't know, but good morning to you. Could
Not
be
a brother from another mother. They're a sister from another mister.
That could be it. So, but good morning either way. All right, let's continue here. Glue is next as we stick all this all together here. We are up 40% this morning. Another therapeutics company. We are up nicely here, 41%. He is a brother. He's a brother. Okay, there we go.
People were saying careful with our pronouns, so they could be they again, but I guess he has confirmed that he's a he.
This is my 6'7". This is my 6'7".
We are just all we.
This is like, you know, the way you feel about 6'7", that we could just relate the same thing to this. All right. Moving on. This could get us in more trouble than the politics talk.
Yeah, I know. That's right.
No, you know what?
Right. Stay out of trouble.
Stay out of trouble in 2026. We're gonna stay out of trouble. But listen, we don't really care what you do with your life. Just don't make it more difficult for me. When I go to the doctor, I want 2 questions. Okay, my age, male or female. You know, keep my application simple. Now I go to the doctor, Peter, and I gotta answer 20 damn things about just gender. I'm like, are we serious here? just have one for us and have one for they. And then we can, I don't want to fill out more stuff. It's very bad enough you got me in here. Now that you got me in here, make it easy for me. Make it easy. Men barely go to the doctor. Make it easy, right? Nice and simple. 2 lines, 2 questions. And if you are, in that camp, then you could have that application, right? It's no wrong with 2 applications. Is there a problem with 2 applications? I don't see why not. I don't see why the issue is so difficult. I don't get it, right? So, we have iPhones and we have Android. Pick your favorite. Yeah, it's just both could be true. Both could be true. Yes.
For the record,
both could be true.
This is not me. This is all Carlos.
You started it. All right, let's continue.
I did not.
Here, let's continue. Here is Glue. Glue here, friends, up 40% this morning, 5.9 million shares traded, and we are rocking here today. Another therapeutics company, Peter, this morning that is doing some stuff. How was it going to trade? I don't know. It is also not a low flow, sitting at 45 million shares flow. So we got a lot of stuff that's high flying this morning that's not really low flow, which is nice because, I don't like low flow tickers, but these are both 60%. Although that first news on the VTYX, I don't know how well that's going to trade. So that one's not a good one. But this one here, what's going on with this one? Maybe something tradable for us.
It may not be low float, but it's low float adjacent. So Monte Rosa Therapeutics, it's a biotech company that has positive phase 1 trial data on their MRT 8102 drug. So let's see, CVD. So cardiovascular disease. All right, that's a good thing. Again, biotechs, they can be troublesome to trade. So it's definitely, it's got 5.7 million shares. It's up 40%. Absolutely no question this thing is in play. Still not going to make my list personally.
All right. Yeah. Is active. I was going to trade. I'm not sure. Maybe a popcorn ticker. It is up 40%. I think that's probably the best way to put it. It is in play. I just want to watch it. Let's see what it does a little bit later, and we'll put it on here. All right, chat is getting very fiery. I promise, guys, we will stay out of trouble. We'll try to stay out of trouble for the rest of the year. We'll try, right? We'll take it a month at a time.
We were already trying.
we're trying hard, but oh boy! All right, here it is. Mint, as Peter likes to call it. MNTS was on the list yesterday as well. Up on the list today again, up 23% this time. It didn't really trade all that well, so I'm not inclined to have it on my list either today as well. So I'm not sure, Peter. What's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, Mints didn't give me that winter fresh, tingly feeling yesterday. I'm not about to trade it today. There's nothing new. It still seems to be moving on that same momentum. People like space news, so that's a good thing. Oddly, they did actually announce yesterday afternoon a secondary offering, a $5 million private placement, which is issuing another 925,000 shares. But that doesn't seem to have impacted. Normally, things drop when that happens. Seems to be okay. Especially being that was issued at $5.40 a share, which is obviously well below the current trading price.
Yeah. I don't know, man. Hard to borrow. We can't short it with interactive brokers either. So I get more reasons not to like this one this morning. All right, we'll skip on it. Let's go to AXTIs, another one on deck today. This is up 7.4. Just started to get going recently in the pre-market, so was not doing much before 8 a.m. 8 a.m. came in and it started doing some stuff. You're right, getting a little bit of volume, not a whole lot, but it is hitting order criteria, above 200,000 shares traded and up above 2% this morning. I don't know. Had a decent day yesterday, Peter. Went from 16 to about 20. Can it do it again today? And this is something that you like this morning.
I must have my filters just slightly different because this one is not on my list. But oh, there it is. It just appeared. I guess I needed the refresh. It must have just shown up. Like you said, barely making the list here, Carlos. I don't even see news. I don't know why it's here. There is some rumor that apparently they'd been having some materials bottleneck. This is a AXT Inc., which is a semiconductor and equipment company. This might be just bouncing because a whole lot of the semis were moving on some news. We're going to get to some of that. Like the secondary semiconductor companies have been having a couple of good days. I mean, I guess I could mention it now. We didn't really look yesterday during the pre-market show at SanDisk, Carlos, but at the close of the day, we were watching this quite a lot, and oh my goodness, SanDisk has had what a run over the last couple of days. In fact, we were saying this would have been great if only we'd bought it in the summer and then just held on. Like this went from 40
Yeah.
to $340 in the last 5 months.
$40, man.
40
It's
bucks.
just
Yeah,
hearing you say it is insane. Just
yeah.
wild.
That's pretty impressive. And you know, it's not like SanDisk is a new or young company. They really haven't done their business has not changed that significantly that, you know, the company should be valued at, you know, what is that? Like 8 times what it was just 5 months ago. Like it really doesn't make a lot of sense, but the market doesn't have to. And the market is always right, right? So, anyways,
Yep.
there was an article that came out yesterday from Barron's that said, "Is SanDisk, whoops, Freudian slip, replacing Nvidia as the new AI chip darling?" Feels like a little bit of a stretch. I mean, yes, it's gone up a
Easy.
lot, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know, like it's hard to suggest that you're replacing Nvidia when Nvidia is the company with the largest valuation ever seen in the history of mankind, and SanDisk is got $51 billion in valuation. So we're talking about what, like one tenth of a percent or 0.2% of the size of Nvidia. I mean, let's calm down.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, well, impressive. No, let's not take. We're not taking away from it. It is impressive,
No,
but
no, good
let's
growth,
be.
but
Yeah.
yeah.
Insane thing yesterday, man. Hitting all-time highs, and just look at the way it does it here. That is just wild. I am gonna have it on my list. I still haven't found a way to trade it, so it's been on my watch list. And again, it'll be on my watch list today because I mean it's just wild what it's doing here. So already 500,000 shares traded, pulling back a little bit, 1.5, which is completely normal. And we will see what it does here. So SNDK
100%.
on deck this morning. I'm sorry, what?
I just was getting the math right in my head. I didn't feel right in my head. I had to break out the
Mm,
calculator. It's 1.1% the size of Nvidia. So
gotcha. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Wow, that puts things into perspective. So there it is. Okay, and we'll continuing here. So we got a couple of, so far nothing great. I did add SanDisk to the list. It's not on the watch list here on the gap up, but I think it's worth talking about. I mean, just given everything we just discussed here. HOUS. This is Anywhere Real Estate. Anywhere Real Estate. So this is probably not gonna trade well. I'm probably not gonna have it on my list. It's just somehow it's got 2.2 million, 2.8 million shares traded. I don't know how they got that. There it is. You can see it there, but it doesn't look tradable this morning at all, right? And it's up 12%, so it's making our gappers list. But after looking under the hood here, I don't like any of it, Peter. I'm sure you probably feel the same.
Yeah, house. Anyways, who's anyway, Anywhere Real Estate is merging with a company called Compass Inc., which you can find under the ticker COMP. They're just waiting for the antitrust period to clear. Neither one is trading well. This is not a sector we normally look at, to be honest, but there's a reason why. I mean, look at how it's trading. So yeah, not good.
Yeah, don't like it. Continuing right to the next one is going to be ALMS. We actually saw this yesterday, right? If you guys remember, we had it on our popcorn list. It went up. It was up massive, like 130 or something at one point, up to $22. Beautiful pre-market action, right? Like the pre-market activity was really nice, really clean. After the first couple of minutes, you had this beautiful run here. Let me show you there. Here it is, beautiful pop all the way to 22. Then from there, it's just collapsed and just dwindled down to about 15, 16, and now it's still second day play here. How well it's going to trade, I don't know. I just don't think you're going to get this type of volume again. We do have shares for sure with Interactive Brokers. We had shares for sure, yes, for short yesterday as well. We have a lot less now. We have 100,000. Yesterday was like around 300,000 shares. So a lot less to short as people are probably trying to take positions thinking this thing's going to go back down. I just don't see how my strategies are going to trade with this ticker and type of stock. So gonna leave it alone. It's not a low flow either. It's around 60 million shares flow, Peter. So not sure if you're going to be watching this one this morning.
No, and we actually referenced this yesterday. We talked about it a little bit. It's a good example of a stock that you got to be careful with, right? When you get these biotechs that skyrocket, especially pre-market, when this thing was going gangbusters. I mean, at this time yesterday, we were looking at it. It's like, oh my God, it's like it was charging up from like 15 to 20, $22, something like that. But look what happened the second the opening bell rang. It basically sold off. And that's a risk position to be in, right? Because if you take it short, you could get killed if this thing runs higher. Don't forget, shorts theoretically, or I guess in practical terms, have unlimited risk. So as opposed to if you at least go long, you've risked the total value of what you put in. So anyways, if that doesn't make sense, go back and look at your basics. But anyways, it's just not the type of thing I like to trade.
Yeah. On to the next one is going to be criminal. Now you see when you put these nicknames to stock, Peter, they stick to it, right? So you mentioned criminal on this one, and here it is, criminal yeah, CRML. Was in play yesterday. Today, still gapping up here, 4.3, still getting some volume. Let's see how well it traded yesterday. I didn't keep it on my list, so I'm gonna go back to see. Wow. Okay, so for me, all morning was just choppy into about what's this, 1 o'clock, almost 2. That's when it finally got going and gave you a nice breakout move. So if you look at the daily candle here, it wasn't clean. It wasn't as clean as you would like because everything happened later in the afternoon. So the morning pretty rough into later parts of the day. Today, gapping up slightly, active pre-market action. Peter, the news continues on this CRML, which is critical metals.
Yeah. They're doing a good job of keeping their name in sort of in people's focus by drip feeding press releases every day about their mineral rights and development activity in Greenland. Greenland's in the conversation. I saw the interview. I didn't I saw anyways yesterday night the interview that Trump had given where when he was boarding the plane. It seems to be a great place for reporters to grab them in a scrum and get them to answer questions. And it was somebody just asked, hey, now that you're taking Venezuela, have you got thoughts about taking Greenland? And in about 20 seconds, President Trump went from, well, let's talk about it in 2 months. Well, let's talk about it in 20 days. We need it for national security. So he went right to the, right to it. So we'll see what happens. I don't know. I mean, the U.S., frankly, doesn't actually have to do anything or not much, right? Because they already have a right to deploy troops and almost do anything they want in Greenland based on their existing agreement. Now, it's still not U.S. territory, but does it have to be? I mean, if you have the right to essentially conduct any activity you want, just go for it, I guess. But in any event, we'll see what happens. Critical metals, as I said, being in Greenland, it feels like they're in a good position. At least they've got some attention from the market. We'll see if the volume it was able to give good trading yesterday. Carlos, I mean, it did this. I thought at the open we were going to get these great moves, and it's because it dropped pretty heavy right off the open. But then if you look at it, oh my goodness, it just had this ugly sort of consolidation, and then it decided to go higher again. So yeah, it's tough. It's a tough one if you're looking to try and trade this. Plus, it's traded on the New York Stock Exchange, which is not my favorite for momentum-based plays because the momentum it's less dynamic.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. We'll leave this one alone for sure. Look at GameStop. When's the last time we looked at that thing? So today they got some action going on. They're up 4.5, 529,000 shares traded. So it looks like 6 a.m. something happened here, moved up, down, and then slightly up this morning. So a little bit of volume, up 4.5. I'm gonna look at the daily because I haven't looked at the daily in quite some time. And yeah, it's just again still alive, man. I'm telling you, this company will survive the end of the world. It will. Like, it's not going anywhere. They managed somehow to still be in business. It's just awesome. It's awesome. They're recession proof, future proof. You name it. This is the company that's going to be around forever. Peter, what do you think about GameStop? Any news this morning?
Yeah, some interesting news. They have adopted what they're calling a Tesla style performance plan for their CEO. Their CEO, Ryan Cohen, has been given a performance plan that could be worth up to $35 billion, which seems like a lot for a company that's only valued at $9 billion. However, the big asterisk on this is that the only way he gets close to that is if he takes GameStop from a company valued at 9.2 billion today to a company that's valued at $100 billion, and the company achieves $10 billion in cumulative core profit. Keep in mind their income right now is 420 million. So basically he'd have to, give a 11, 12-fold increase in the company size and improve their profit 20-fold. So I don't know you're asking a good question there, Sammer. From what is the CEO getting paid now? That's a good question. I have no idea what that remuneration plan looked like to what they're moving it to, but largely I'm not sure that matters. It's interesting that I'm not sure what the value is in that other than getting a little bit of press coverage as a result. I mean, Carlos, we've been talking about GameStop forever. I have not seen them do anything innovative in their business, and certainly no indication that they're actually going to be able to create a company worth 10 times what it's worth right now.
Yeah, I don't know how that will happen. All right. As far as the list, I mean, they are in play today. Do we put in a second there, just kind of see where it goes here? I mean, I seen GameStop do more action than this and still not make my list. But today's that type of day that as we're going through this list, we're not getting a whole lot of the gappers list, right? And as the markets are sitting just near all-time highs, we might be going back to some of our usual suspects, Nvidia, Tesla, which are not on the list here. But it seems that type of day. So I'll put GameStop on the secondary list, more to remind myself to take a look at it later and see what is going on there. All right, let's finish off this gappers list. Two more left here: MSTR and APLD. MSTR this morning, again, not a great trader lately. He's really been just going sideways here. On the daily, you can see just not a whole lot happening. What was the highest this thing hit? 480? Oh no, higher. Wow, MSTR did hit 543 at one point last year. Okay, back down to 164 over time, and again, I just don't see anything great on here, Peter. It seems like regular activity to me. Up 4%, 800,000 shares traded. Any news on strategy?
Yeah, MSTR, they've been on the fringes of our conversation for a while, haven't they? So, newly named, they used to be MicroStrategy. I guess now they've got a bigger strategy because they're just Strategy Inc. I every once in a while this thing pops up, and I I don't know. I don't know what to make of it. They were rumored to maybe they would be excluded. Um, sorry, that they would. Sorry, I'm reading the article here and I'm getting it wrong here. So let's see. MSTR released a strategy where they iced a plan to exclude crypto treasury companies from its indexes. That there's like some double negatives in there. So I think that means they're including them in their indexes because I thought that was the news, and then I was reading this while I was talking, and it's confusing me. So in any event, I just can't see the deep pockets that gives me trading opportunity. Truly interested in this. Yeah, it's captured a few headlines, but MSTR, if you look at the daily, it's sort of been down in the doldrums here for a while. It's gotta get up over $190 to really sort of get interesting and start trading well. I don't think today's the day.
Yeah, and last but not least, maybe least, we'll see. APLD is the one on here, and they're up 3.6, 700. Oh, we got some action coming up here. APLD, Look at this, Applied Digital up 3.7, 800,000 shares traded, and it seems to be moving quite well after 8 a.m. this morning. So, Peter, this seems to be in play today daily. We traded this in the past before, or at least watched it in the past before. It can trade well if there's some kind of news or catalyst or volatility. This morning looks like we're getting something on it. Is it worth watching today?
They seem to be on a weird schedule here. They actually have earnings, I think, after the close today. Yes, they do. So, yeah, they are going to be reporting, and I think that's why, sometimes you get a little bit more movement before reporting. I didn't even know that the companies were reporting. Clearly not the ones that I typically look at.
They started this week, or I think this week some of them started. Very little.
I'm looking at the list here on Trading Terminal, and there's a few of them, but yeah, they're nothing too exciting, is it? Nothing on Friday. We got a few after the close today, a few before the open tomorrow. Oh, look, WD-40 reports after the close on Thursday. Still amazed that that's an independent company. You got a good product when you're like survived in this day and age with one product. Although I suppose if you're an executive at WD-40, you would argue with me that you've got an entire suite of products, but it's all derivatives of the exact same, anti-stick formula. So, in any event, all right. I digress. APLD, I'm not going to be looking at it today.
Yeah, looks active. How I was going to try, I'm not sure. It could be a good secondary. I'm being very loose with the secondary list today. It's not a whole lot to watch. I'm being very generous, yeah. So we'll put in the secondary list, and we'll see. Could drop off very quickly depending how we come off this gap down list, or some of our usual suspects that we love to watch here. All right, Peter, let's take a look here. GP Trader says MSTR more of a swing trading stock. I agree. I agree. I could see that MSTR being more of a swing trading stock, and a lot of these are, right? So keep in mind, when we say we don't like it, we're talking about just strictly day trading. For swing trading, a lot of these could be very good, like ONDS. Great example. The chat called this for a swing. What is it? Megan and Jared, they're all in this ONDS. They've been loving it. It says the next best things in sliced bread for 2026, and so far it's proving that to be right. Look at that, 950 already at 12, so very nice. Peter, before we drop off the gap up list and go into the gap down, anything you like here that might not be showing on the list this morning?
Well, we have to talk about Tesla. Tesla's gapping up only because it gapped down, or it moved down so heavily yesterday. I think that it's still a great trading stock and a great opportunity that we could take a look at. Netflix has just been lying around waiting for something interesting to happen, I guess. And I'm still surprised that it's been so quiet. I mean, it hasn't been that long, but we had the whole holiday season. We had the first half of this week. Not a peep out of Warner Brothers. Nothing from Paramount. Perhaps, I don't know. Perhaps there's something working in the background. I mean, there's got to be something going on in the background, but I don't know what the delay is. It feels like this is the type of thing they'd want to be resolving. And especially if you're Warner Brothers, you think that you don't usually want to keep Netflix waiting. They are not reputedly a very patient organization. So as much as they put it to bed, they could just say, fine. Hey, if you're not going to take our bid, we're pulling it off the table. I mean, they've got the clout and the money to do so, and that would leave them only with Paramount as a suitor. And it feels like that's not what the board wants, but who knows what's happening? We just haven't heard anything. So, So anyways, that one I'll just continue to keep an eye on in case anything happens. And then we've talked about the semis. They're mostly gapping down. I noticed that Intel is gapping up this morning, as is Nvidia slightly. But everything else is moving downwards. So the other one, I know it's gapping down, Carlos, but I should mention because it was up so much yesterday. We were watching this into the close as well yesterday. Micron, what another good mover. We were talking about SanDisk. Micron's another one that, not quite as drastic, but pretty close. If at the same time you bought SanDisk back in August, sorry, you had bought Micron for $100, which I thought was expensive at the time, you would have tripled your money by now. So is 335 at the open of trading today. So, but it was moving well yesterday, like surprisingly well. I was actually looking at it for a reversal trade off of the highs. I didn't end up taking it because I didn't trust it, but I could have. It actually moved well, so I was very surprised about that.
Yeah, yeah, it continues to do some good stuff here. And man, what continues to explode higher. And even this morning, good volume, 1.1 million shares traded. I think you might want to come back to our usual suspects list. So I am going to add it here on our primary list next to SanDisk. MU will be going on there. With that makes me think of the other stuff. AMD, of course, you did mention Nvidia. I mean, Nvidia's just fun to watch. I will be watching that again this morning. But let's see where it goes. Man, what a hard time gave us yesterday. What such a difficult time.
Yeah. It was. It had a good drop eventually that I was fortunate to be able to take advantage of, but yeah, it gave me a really hard time at the open. I think I ended up with like, I don't know, 5 or 6 different trades on it in the first 20 minutes. That's a little rare for me.
Yeah, it's on the higher end, that's for sure. But I'm glad you got that drop though. That sell-off was very nice, very nice.
That ended up working much better than I had hoped. So
yeah.
And Rajesh is pointing out that there is news on Warner Brothers. Apparently, the board just came out this morning and reconfirmed that they are rejecting Paramount's takeover offer and are encouraging shareholders to support the Netflix bid. So looks like Warner Brothers has made a statement. I was expecting them to make it sooner than this, but it looks like they just did it this morning. So thank you for pointing that out. I didn't actually check the news. So.
Right.
So maybe, like I pointed out, maybe Netflix, this will be the day. We'll see what it does. It's the best trader of the two. If you look at Warner Brothers, it's got horrible volume. So,
yep. All right, let's continue here, friends. Let's look at our gap down list this morning, see what's going on there. So it's a lot more now, so things continue to grow on the gap down list. ASTS is leading the way. By the way, you can get this list from tradingterminal.com. Head on over there, and a bunch of tools that are available to you, like the gappers list with a bunch of scanners for the trading day, market atlas, replay simulator, live simulator, you name it, it's all available to you there. Yes, Peter, Space Mobile is on here. So AST Space Mobile on deck this morning. Right now, down 6.8, leading the gap down list. 1 million shares traded so far. So pretty good there as far as movement. Something not working. Well, not something not working out because they did have 3 nice green days here, right? So pulling back, let's call it that. What is the latest and greatest?
There's actually nothing new, really. I mean, late December they had a good launch of their Bluebird 6 satellite. That was nice, lovely. It went successfully, and there's continued optimism around this entire sector. If you're doing stuff in space, it seems to have attention on the markets. I don't like the way ASTS trades. It's sort of a shame it doesn't trade better because it's starting to get better average volume. I like how the volume's been picking up over the last month or so, but it's like I just look at how it traded yesterday, and it is like you have to set a big stop range and really just gut it out because while it can move, it's intra minute. Right, it has like $2-3 candles, and that can be really tough to hang on to. I mean, just look at that 5-minute chart, Carlos. Can you imagine trying to hold through some of those pullbacks? Like, just look at even if you entered at the VWAP at 9, look at that candle at 9, whatever is 45 or something like that. I was looking at this 5-minute chart, and I was trying to picture myself holding this, and imagine if you got in at 950, sorry. The 950 candles, it breaks through VWAP, and you're like, all good, and the thing shoots all the way up to 96, comes all the way back to 93 before you have a chance to breathe, and then you're like crossing your fingers. Now, eventually, it would have worked out to be a great trade, but woof, that's tough sledding.
Yep. Yep. It is not an easy one when you're going back and forth like that. So not a great trader. Again, you got some action here this morning. I think I will find something better to look at. So, all right, let's continue. PSLV is next. Are we having a bunch of silver stuff here? It looks like we are, Peter. PSLV, AG, I think HL. I mean, there's a bunch on here. So we're going to skip through some of these. But again, you can trade them. I'm not a big fan of trading silver, day trading silver directly, but if you are, there's some movement today. We're gapping down after a gap up yesterday on here, looks like. So PSLV, SLV, I think HL, you name it, there's a bunch on here.
There's a little predictability here. I mean, it's late today to take advantage of it, but if you look at SLV just as a chart, almost every time it hits a new all-time high, you get a pullback the next day. So there would be some rationale to say that you're going to play that move. It doesn't necessarily hold all day, but it's certainly after. And yesterday, silver did go to a new all-time high. So it's just a natural pullback. We're going to see some of the silver stocks on the gap down list, like you said, Carlos. Hard to trade though. This is more of a swing opportunity. I mean, silver has been on people's radar for so long now because I mean it's just crazy. I mean how far it's run, and they believe there could be more. They do believe that it may not be done for silver, so we'll have to see. I mean, gold has also been running, but not quite as dramatically as silver. So that's why we keep talking. I mean, I never thought we'd talk about silver as a commodity, really, right? Platinum, maybe. Gold, of course. It's sort of like gold is the gold standard. Pun completely intended. I mean, there's a reason why it's called the gold standard. It's not the silver standard. So, in any event, we were indirectly talking about silver the other day when we were talking about hockey. See, silver's the thing that you don't want.
Yeah. Yeah.
If you're playing in a hockey tournament, you're playing for the gold. Only when you're the loser do you get the silver, and that's like, I got. So oddly, the people playing in the bronze medal match are happier to win bronze than you end up being to win silver. Isn't that weird? Anyways, I always find that odd. But
yeah. Oh man. All right, friends. Let's continue here. Wow, one of our good buddies is getting some heat over on the YouTube. So our buddy Ben, who has moved from, not move. He logs into both, right? But he's trading in. He's chatting with us in X, and then people are asking, "Hey, where's Ben?" And I told him, "Oh, he's on X." And forget it. Why did I say that? Now they call him trader and all kinds of stuff. So I'm duck and weave, my friend. Duck and weave, and just be careful out there. It's just a rough crowd. All right.
Okay.
Continuing here, on the gap down list, what else we got going on? We got MU. We spoke about SanDisk. A lot of these they're up. I mean, their daily is strong. It's just they're pulling back a little bit here, so not much to see. You got some mining companies as well. Kind of Peter talked about a little bit. That's it. I don't really want to go over anything else here, Peter. Anything you like on the gap down?
You see SanDisk and MU on the gap down list, so we already talked about them. They're just in play, so worth talking about. I mean, after the big move that both of them made yesterday, not surprised to see them gapping down a little bit. Carlos, I feel like I've got to keep an eye on these guys just because they had such good moves. So I'm feeling left out. But
which one again?
Which one? Both SanDisk, SNDK, and Micron, MU. But
yeah.
I do feel like I'm sort of chasing the truck down the road. I'm a little late to the party. So in any event, it's we'll do what we can. We'll keep an eye on them. A lot of the usuals for me today. I still think Tesla's just a good trading stock. Pick your days. Pick your opportunity. We'll see what happens. And of course, Nvidia. As much as it can be tough at times, it's good when it's good. So
yeah. Agreed. All right, friends. I think that kind of does it for me. My list so far. I am gonna add Tesla. I know we didn't add it here, but we talked about it briefly, kind of our usual suspect, and Tesla has been really active, so it will be on my list. And just for now, and I'll see what else we can find off this list here. All right, quickly, I'm just going to take a few, not too many from the chat. So we're running a little bit of time. So much to cover today, so much to look at. So just going to look quickly, see what you guys have, and we'll bring those up here to the list. So let's go to our chat. What do you guys like this morning? Let's take a look here. MU, we have Michael's giving us Amazon. Let's take a look at Amazon. I've seen many people watching Amazon more often lately, or calling it out at least. Let's see, Amazon.
Yeah, we did
Had a
call it
great.
out yesterday.
Yeah, we did.
It actually
Yep.
moved well again yesterday.
Yeah.
So,
Yep. It did move very, very nice. So, Amazon is one of those stocks that gives you nothing in the pre-market. So you just have to watch it and see if the market open is going to give you anything. Like right now, this is not much, right? You're pretty much flat. You're barely getting any volume here. You just kind of have to wait and see where the action is going to be. So I'll put it on. Where can I put it here? Secondary. I put it on. This is probably a real secondary compared to what I have down there. So the secondary list on Amazon. I might move this up if I don't find anything else that I love a little bit better. I have glue. Glue is in play. The only reason why I have it on the popcorn list is just I don't think it's going to trade well with the way I trade, my trading style. But this is clearly in play. I think we should watch it and then see if any opportunities show up for us, right? So it's got the volume 6.5, up 41%. It's not a low flow ticker. So it's definitely one worth having on the list, whether you put it on your primary or not. I think it depends on your style of trading, what you like, Steve. So I like this one. We'll see where it goes here. Apple. No, I do. Steve, I do like this one. I do. It's just, I don't know if my strategy is going to like it. I like it. Not sure if my strategy is going to like it. Apple here this morning. Wow. Yeah, Apple sold off yesterday. So another one that moved very well. Not throughout the day, though. It's just like the first half of the day, first couple of hour or two. Then after that, just sideways. Just gave you nothing, right? I wasn't around for all of this, but look at that. It's just sideways action there. But the morning was pretty good on Apple. One last one. We'll look at BA. And yes, we'll look at AMD. BA this morning. Oh, BA starting. Well, moved. It moved. It had one candle here. So, what's going on with them, Peter, this morning, if anything?
The Boeing announced jointly with Alaska Airlines that they received from the carrier their largest ever airplane order of 737-10 and 787 Dreamliner jets. So that just, I mean, they've already got a big backlog, so this just adds to their backlog. Okay, that's great. So they're getting, let's see. Opting for 35 more of the largest 737 MAX variant. Can Alaska Airlines can afford that? Anyways, apparently they can. We believe. Maybe. I mean, they don't have to take delivery yet. So, anyways, so apparently they've ordered 35 new planes, which, that's a couple of years worth of production right there. Boeing is a tough one. I always find it tough. Every time you think Boeing should go up on good news, it'll drop. And every time I think that, it should be beaten down by bad news, it goes up. So I don't know what to do with it. Yes, it's gapping up pre-market. I have zero faith that that is going to be indicative of what's going to happen when the opening bell rings. No idea. And because of that, I'm just staying away from it. Thank you.
I'm with you. All right. All right, that's it, friends. That's all we have. Let's head over to bearwithtraders.com and let's look at what is happening for today as we get back into a full week of trading. We haven't had that in a while. It feels like it's been forever. But here it is. Wednesday, Peter's going to let you know what's happening and also how you can join our community.
Carlos, we were talking before about, I just see the stuff in our own chats, how we were talking about. Well, we're running behind a little bit, but I'll just do this quick. That it's amazing now, like on all platforms, including even trading platforms, how you can start to bet on anything. Like you see all these betting, like sports betting and everything. Well, there's Poly Market that lets you bet on anything. You can literally create a bet about anything you want, right? And if you get enough people, it's a bet. They are now saying they're refusing to pay out on bets made against the fall of the Venezuelan regime, which is interesting. So
That's wrong.
It blows my mind. People will bet on anything, won't they? And the fact that they're refusing to pay out on this item after all the other things you can bet on is
shady.
I don't know. Interesting.
Shady. Well, they had the one. You hear about the one individual guy though. He betted like $32,000 like the day before. Yeah. Clearly, your brother's like one of the generals in the Delta team that went out, knew who was going out there. Like clearly, you heard something. Like you don't put $32,000 in something like that, right? I don't know. I don't
Yeah,
know.
and it
So
could have come from anywhere because Trump did say in interviews how he had advised the oil companies before the coup happened. So he was talking with them about
yeah,
getting
somebody knew
them
something. Hmm.
mining rights, or I don't know exactly what the conversation entailed. He didn't release that, but he did confirm that he spoke with mining. So it could have been anybody, right?
Yeah,
They're not sworn to secrecy. If you're working for one of the oil companies or something like that, then yeah, you know what? There's it's insider adjacent, but not technically insider trading. So
yeah. And
in
this
any
guy
event.
didn't even have an account, so it's not like somebody that always bets. He just opened an account like for this trade, So
Yeah.
yeah.
And
Uh,
it's a funny world because, as people are pointing out, the this is not actually, because you're not betting on any specific company, you're betting on the event, and it's so therefore it's considered what they call prediction markets, and you can bet on anything. There's no such thing as insider trading on that environment because
yeah.
it's not really regulated, which is why Polymarket is the one that's saying themselves they're refusing to pay. Anyways, it's all weird and fascinating,
Shady,
and
shady.
just it's just strange. All right,
Yep.
we're running out of time, so very quickly, it's Wisdom Wednesday. That means we got a couple sessions. Dr. Vanessa Charlin will be with us as usual at noon. Dr. Kenneth Reed's doing the session tonight. He's going to talk about overtrading, which is a problem so many people have. I experienced it yesterday, although I am regularly an undertrader. That's at 8 p.m. for all of our elite members in the webinar room, and hopefully you will join us for those. If you want to join us in Bearable Traders as a member and be part of this trading community and the chat room, then you've got to go to bearabletraders.com, scroll down, and you can see the membership options from the intro right through the Elite Annual. They're all good depending on what you're looking for and your situation is. Carlos, why don't we get to setting a few levels? I'll let people know what our moderator, so mods, get your lists in, and let's go. The open's coming up in 8 minutes.
Yeah, let's do it, friends. We'll do this quickly. We have just 4 tickers to go through, which you are very familiar with. SNDK is the first one on deck, friends. And again, just look at the daily. Hitting all-time highs. Levels for this is going to be, there's nothing above this high from yesterday, as that is your all-time highs here. And towards the bottom, we were going to mark down the low of the pre-market down at 340, if I can get you to the right charts. There it is. 340 and 341 actually is the low of the pre-market. And then you have this big, huge, massive candle, and there's really no intraday action nor daily candles within this whole area here. So we just got the low of the pre-market. If you want to get fancy, we can actually do this. We can go into the 5-minute, right? We could go in here and see where we had areas of resistance, like the high of the day, right? We could do 313.48, and areas of big support. You have resistance support right here around 331.41. These are very, they're not strong daily levels, but at least there's some guidance you can have here, right? You can look at your pivot points too if you track those, but for the most part, you're not going to have anything off the daily. But I do like these stocks tend to go back and retest some of the areas where they have prior resistance and support, even if it's off the 5-minute charts, the weekly charts. They like to do that. So that's what I'm going to go with this morning. Let's go to MU. MU also hitting all-time highs yesterday, pulling back here a little bit. Low of the pre-market is going to be at 335 on the dot there, and then the high of the pre-market 341.70. Once you do that, I mean, this is perfect. Highs and lows for the last 2 trading days, doing an amazing job towards the bottom. All-time highs, nothing above here where this previous day close is. So you are all set when it comes to that, when it comes to MU. So pretty good there. All right, continuing here, let's go to Nvidia. And friends, make sure you're hitting live on X and on YouTube too. Sometimes things get delayed a little bit. Make sure you hit live so you guys are up to speed with the latest stream and staying up to date, right? So hit live on both sides. I see X sometimes falls behind, and YouTube as well. So hit live so you got the latest and greatest. It should only be like a couple of seconds behind. 188.51 is the high of the pre-market on Nvidia. 188.52 actually. The low, pretty close to the lows from 2 days ago. 186.86, and then you can see on this daily here, surrounded by highs and lows for the last 2 trading days. Wow, look at every day here. Gapped up, sold off, gapped up, sold off, gapped up, sold off, gapped up, sold off, gap down, sold off. So it's been selling off over the last 4-6 days here. So interesting the way that's trading, but it's giving us volatility, which we love as traders. So 190.04 looks like another level you want to have on there. Once you do that, you're surrounded by many highs and lows of the last 2 trading days. Do not need to do anything else. Tesla is trying to hold here in the green. High of the pre-market, 436. We'll slam one there, and then towards the bottom, 431, 64. One more just in case we do continue to drop here. It's going to be down at 425, 425, excuse me, 25, 425, 78 is the number. And then once you do that, you're good to go. Surrounded by the highs and lows towards the top and bottom there. Only other price tag I don't see here is going to be 441 at 29, which I'm going to mark there. Once you do that, friends, you're all set. That is our list. Peter, what is some of the key ones that our team is watching this morning?
A lot of common stocks here on the list I see. I'll just say in general, people are watching semiconductors. We got Nvidia, AMD, Micron on the list. I also added SanDisk. So I've got that. Oh, I put it wrong. SNDL I meant. NDK, sorry. Brian's also added Rocket Lab and IonQ. Rocket Lab did have some interesting move yesterday, I think, but I'm not sure if it's going to be a great trader, but he's got it on his list. And what else? Megan's also got PLTR. Yeah, that's about it. You can see that most people are sticking to the basics. We'll see what happens out there in the markets today. I'm reasonably encouraged. I think it's going to be a decent day. We'll just discipline, right? That's what Michael and I discussed here in the chat room. We're both going to focus on discipline. I took a bunch of trades yesterday. It wasn't terribly undisciplined, but it wasn't the pinnacle of my trading activity. So let's see if we can get back to basics here.
All right.
We've got
excellent.
Yeah, and 3.5 minutes here to the market open. We're going to hand the room over to Brian and presumably Andrew. Is Andrew online yet? I haven't seen him out there yet.
I have not, and I did not get a call from him. Did not get a call from him last night, so everything should be good. So
you didn't call your wife to tell you about?
You didn't call my wife to tell me about something. So all is well.
All right,
friends, take care. Trade safe over in chat. We're gonna continue here on YouTube and X. Have a good one. All right, perfect. We'll all right, we'll head over here. All right, Tesla, my 1 minute, 5 minute down here, and looking forward to today. Andrew is a good man. I'm sure he's around.
All right, Andrew's on the way. That's good to know.
Very good. Very good. I see Brian's doing his thing there. And we are set, friends. Look at Tesla go here. Tesla's putting in some moves right before the market open. Looks like it might be retesting that pre-market high, 436 right now. We're going to get our market atlas front and center here. Friends, if you haven't done so over on YouTube, hit that thumbs up. Really appreciate it. It helps us out a ton. We're sitting at a whopping, I'm scrolling, 197. So that is awesome. That's a lot of thumbs. We want more thumbs, but that's a lot of thumbs. You can't complain. Can't complain. 197 thumbs up. That's a lot of thumbs. So, all right. But thank you, friends. Really appreciate it. It does help us out a ton here. Here it is, Tesla breaking new high. I'm not gonna move this level yet. I'm gonna keep it here. Let's see how high it goes. We can always update it. In DAS, by the way, you can set that automatically so it moves.
What just happened?
Okay. So you could do that. So as the new high happens, the level will move alongside. That's a nice feature to have. If you want to turn that on, you can. Oh.
What else am I gonna watch here? SanDisk. Whoops. SNDK. Keep putting L on SNDK. I think Warner Brothers is going to do anything. I don't know. Let's watch Netflix. Netflix popping here a little bit. Look at that. Maybe I'll watch Boeing just because, well, I don't trust it. The kids like it. All right.
Kids like it. Michael, good morning. Michael, good to have you in chat. All right. Is Glue shortable or interactive brokers? I didn't notice it. It is. Yes. It is shortable, and we got plenty of shares, millions. Usually when they put a million, I think it's just like even more than that. Let's just say, hey, you have enough. There's plenty there.
All right. Here we go, Carlos. Here we go.
Here we go, baby. I'm all in life savings 15 times on Tesla. Oh my goodness. Scary stuff, man. All in. Just
terrifying.
I am rooting for you.
Don't do that, man.
If you did that, I am rooting for you, man.
That is terrifying. All right. 3 seconds. 2, 1. Here we go.
That's the bell.
All right. Oh, Tesla.
Yeah.
Tesla dropping heavy.
Mm-hmm. Dropping hard here.
Nvidia.
I like
Nvidia pulling back here. Whoa.
I like it.
Wow. AMD dropped out of the gates here. Where's my my Atlas?
Here's some you guys. Here's some you.
Nvidia
just pushing higher. Pushing higher.
Oof. Nvidia is now red.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Tesla just went red as well.
Yeah, we're starting off with a bit of a sell-off here across the board on the ones I'm watching, except for MU. Even SanDisk pulling back a little bit. So let's see.
Yikes.
Minute and a half in.
Yeah, both would have been good shorts right off the open, but I am not going to be chasing them here.
No. Ooh, MU. I would love Nvidia engulfing long above the VIA, but we're running out of time for that. As the second minute is coming to a close here. Nvidia, same thing. Also dropping below the previous day close, trying to hold. Minute number 2 in the books. And no 1 minute ORB for me yet.
What the heck? What's going on?
SanDisk.
Hey.
Oh, what happened?
I see what happened. All right.
All right, here we go. Where is the play, friends? Where is the play? Nvidia coming back to the VWAP again, looking for 1 minute ORBs or a 5 minute a little bit later. So 1 minute breakouts right now is what I'm looking for, but not seeing anything I love just yet. SanDisk would have been nice, but the problem was it was below the VWAP. I don't like it. I don't like going long below the VWAP. It's just something, I don't know. I mean, this could have worked here, but I tend to avoid that. Here it is, getting into green on SanDisk. Very nice. Okay, here's the move on Nvidia. Let's see. Peter, in anything yet? I think Nvidia, man, could turn out really nice today. I think Nvidia could turn out.
Yeah,
really nice,
I might be on the wrong side of this. I actually decided to try and aggressively take Nvidia short off of the VWAP, but it's popped up here. It actually went through my stop, at least the wick did, but I didn't get stopped out. So we'll see what happens.
Yep.
So
Amazon is long. Yeah, can you see that? Yeah, see Glue's rocking too, man. Glue is doing some things here. Careful on the share size on Glue. It could move. It could really move. So, if you need to,
it's not looking good for
Nvidia. Yeah, Let's see. Let's see what it does here.
Yeah, not looking good for me on Nvidia here. Nvidia looks like it might want to go long. I thought it was going to be weak and Nvidia was going to drop back through the previous day close.
Yep.
There you go. I just got stopped out. So there's my loss on Nvidia.
I like the
So that
5 minute.
didn't work out. That was a bad decision.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like the 5 minute on it. The way it's setting up here, a lot of buying pressure. I would love to see it get closer to 188.40 for a break, but let's see. Let's see. It could go either way here. Like here, it could be a short or a long. So you got to be careful. Let's take a look at what Trading Atlas, Market Atlas from TradingTerminal.com is telling us. Tesla bouncing off levels here, pre-market lows, getting above the VWAP. We might get into some long situations here, friends. The problem is Nvidia is not a 5 minute ORB here, a 5 minute opening range breakout. It's not here. Like if you see, this is not it. That's the breakout above. So it's, if anything, it's a short, if anything. So we're not at the 5 minute ORB breakout up here. So I don't know, but I might like this below the, if it goes below the VWAP, I might like it short because I can't take it long here. What MU 1 minute ORB? Let's see. MU. It's a tough one. This would have been the 1 minute ORB here. It's a tough one because you're going up against the previous day close right on here. So this is obviously going to play a part into it. But if you took as a 1 minute ORB off the body, you know, you're in good shape. You're up $3 on this thing. Careful and give enough room. But if you took as a 1 minute ORB off the body, you're good. Off the wicks, you're you know, it's a little bit tougher there. A little bit tougher there. Okay, here it is. So MU did drop below the VWAP. Yeah, see, this is
MU, you mean Nvidia?
I'm sorry, Nvidia.
See,
Nvidia, yes.
Nvidia.
Yeah,
see, Nvidia
short.
now it's making the move I wanted. It just, I guess I got in too early. It popped up above, stopped me out. So unfortunately, I have a loss on that. But now it's making the exact move I was looking for. So that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate.
I talked about it, but didn't take it.
Yeah.
Okay. Mike, what is Mike doing? Mike, Google and Amazon strong so far. Yeah, I have Amazon on the list here and actually traded very nice. I got to start paying more attention to Amazon because every time I go back to it, it's trading well. So they're good there. Nvidia. Let's leave Nvidia alone for now. SanDisk, both SanDisk and MU just slightly below the previous day close, trying to go green here. I don't see a play on it. Candy, you did mention Google as well. Let's take a look at Google also breaking out pretty nice. This is a great 5 minute ORB too. That was a great 5 minute ORB on Google there. Amazon continuing. Apply material. A little messy. Not much volume on apply material. All right, let's see MU. Oh, so MU failed. Couldn't get above here. It's bouncing back again. If it can settle above the previous day close, it could be a nice long. And we're going up against all-time highs with MU, so it's, you know, same. We saw the same thing with Nvidia when it was hitting their all-time highs. They start to struggle a little bit at times, right? So be ready for that. Nvidia back above the. I think Nvidia's just playing stupid games like it did yesterday. It is. Look at this, right back above the VWAP. The selling pressure on it is real. Sorry, the buying pressure. Look at the buying pressure off the 5 minutes. So you can see that there. It's just Look at these wicks, right? So I like it long, man. I like it long. I think if we get the breakout 180, 188.51. Where's our stop? If we go there, 188.51. Jeez, we gotta give this. I'll have to give it at least, man, $1, which is fine. We'll take less shares, but I don't want to give it that much. Don't want to give it that much. We can anticipate the breakout getting here and give it 50 cents. That would be nice. If we do it here, we could do 148, 187.48 easily for a long. Not jumping in yet, though. I'm not convinced. I'm not convinced as you hear me talk this through here. So Atlas is also looking more bullish than bearish on it as well. So we'll see if it can hold the VWAP here. It's doing the same pattern it did just a few ago. Came up here above the VWAP, a little sell down, then flush. We're back at it again here. Same exact thing. Can we hold the VWAP now? See, yeah, we gotta wait for the breakout. We gotta wait for the breakout. This back and forth in Nvidia is not. It's not tradable. Not tradable. We gotta wait for it to break one way.
No, I don't like
messing around too much.
Trying to keep my head down and just watch it, but it's I shouldn't have jumped into that early trade. Oh well. All right. Oh, look at Tesla.
I know. Come back. That is a big move. Come on. I missed it, man. You tell me? Yeah, you did. You did. How do you pronounce your name? Ucaranza. You're always in chat. Yeah, you did tell me that, but I missed your message because I was looking at the charts. But yeah, this is I pulled up too late to the party here. This is gone. Let's see. It's I might pull back. Nvidia. I'm gonna wait for it. It's got to break one of these ranges, so it's not doing anything now. SanDisk did lose the VWAP. Oh, that could be interesting. Breakdown pullback. This would have been our entry, 343. You got to give this $3. Yeah, $3 stop. I can't remember the last time I gave a stock that much room. That is, but again, all that matters is the number of shares you take, right? Still, even if you give me a $3 stop, still risk the same amount. That's all that matters because you can get $3, right? So just keep that in mind. Don't go taking 1,000 shares on this thing. Be mindful. All right, you coming back up or what? I feel like I'm missing everything today, guys. Feel like I'm missing it. Okay, so now a little bit different. Nvidia did hold the VWAP, so we like that. We like that. MU below the VWAP, also interesting. 2 days in a row. No, Nvidia did us okay. Only yesterday did it do me dirty. But so far, hasn't been too bad. Oh man, it's hard not to go back and look at this because I think this thing is gonna explode. To be honest, guys. Spies pushing higher. Qs. Yeah, I'm taking a look at. Yeah, everything is good on that. Nvidia. Okay, we're gonna go long Nvidia, friends. So long Nvidia for the break. I'm anticipating the break of the 188.51, stop loss 187.60. So we wanna get this break going. I like the way we didn't go below the VWAP here. So let's see if we can get the push up and break this back and forth. If I don't like what I see in a couple of minutes, in a couple of seconds here, I might just get out for a small win. I might not even wait for my 187.60 because the stock is choppy. So what makes us think that it's actually going to break out now, right? We don't know that. Besides, this beautiful market atlas is telling me, yes, Carlos, go long. Go long. Market atlas. I mean, it's just you don't. It doesn't get more beautiful than this. I mean, look at this. It's just okay. Okay, we're getting move. I'm gonna partial here. Little aggressive, I know, but I think it's just because I don't have a lot of faith this thing is gonna last. So partial there. Let's see if we can continue to get up to 189. So here it is, pulling back. Let's see, 189. Can we get there? We have potential. MU back below the VWAP. Tesla.
Yeah, we're at all-time highs again here on the SPY. Look at this. It just
yeah, it's wild,
crazy.
Man. It's crazy. Yeah, Intel. I had a lobby watching Intel. Yes, I wish I could trade the stock better, man. Every time I watch this stock, it does nothing for me, and when I do not watch it, it trades so well. Yeah, look at it go now, man. It's really nice. Intel. It's a lot of stuff going green, friends. It's a lot of stuff pushing high. It looks like it's going to be that type of day as the SPY tries to go higher here. Look at Google swell. A lot of you guys took Google. Very nice. And the semis are the ones that are struggling today. I am in Nvidia and it's kind of working out here, but the semis are struggling. Compared to some other things that are moving well here. Okay, Atlas is still looking very good in our favor here for this long. Hoping that we can get 189. I'll partial at 189 if I can get up there. Still struggling a little bit with this high of the day. This 180, 184, 188.60 actually. 188.60. Uncle D Trades, good to see you, man. Welcome to our X chat. So this is what I'm holding out for. I'm holding out for 189. There it is. Setup is coming on the charts. Come on. Give us that push. Go get these orders. And what do we have? Tesla's coming back. Tesla, yes, it is. It's coming back. I see that. SanDisk. Oh man, that's a good short. Hey, I'll be honest. If I was not trading live with you guys, I'll probably have taken SanDisk short here. I didn't want to be a bad example and chase something, but I would take it. It was not
short, yeah.
It was like right. It was like not the best entry. It was a little bit of a short, but I was very close to just taking it. I'm like, you know what? Be a good example, Carlos.
I've gone short on Micron here. We'll see if I can hold on. It's pretty choppy. It's jumping all over the place. But it just came back up to my break even. I think I too aggressively moved my stop to break even. It does look like it's going short now.
Okay.
Let's see if we can get. Oh, well, it just popped up here, so maybe not. I don't know. I don't know what it's going to do. I don't like it anymore. I thought it was looked like
Yeah.
it was going short, and then it was like up and down, and I don't know. It's not. I've never traded. Well, I haven't traded Micron in a while. I was feeling a little
Yeah.
left out yesterday after the big move. Thought there might be a pullback. I'm happy to sort of be out at break even on this. I'll wait for a better opportunity.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see here. Mm-hmm. Man, we are just battling. Looking at Nvidia on my
It's
side, just
irrational,
back and
Melanie.
forth, back and forth. Let's
Yeah.
see if we can get the break. Okay, then we could do.
Uh,
Screen.
Yeah, this Micron is a tough
13,
trade. I'm just watching it now a little
13.
bit more, and it's I don't know. I don't know.
Mm-mm-mm.
I don't know. I don't like it.
Yeah, heads up PMI in 10
Mm,
minutes. GP Trader, thank you so much, sir. Yes, got a couple of things. Some came out this morning. Nothing
yeah.
crazy, but we do have some stuff at. Oh, we got plenty. We got some stuff at 10. Factory orders. There's stuff Peter has. So let's see. But as Peter mentioned earlier, a lot of this stuff hasn't really done much, but it's good to be aware and see what
No.
kind
We'll
of action we
see. I
get.
mean, yeah, the number that's got the biggest chance of doing something is this JOLTS job numbers. Again, keep in mind though, it's sort of older data. It's not it's not current. So we'll see what we get. I'll let you know. I'll keep an eye on this. We got about 9 minutes, 8.5 minutes until this data is supposed to be released. See what happens.
What am I trying
Hmm.
to do? Okay, yeah, here. Um. Mm-mm-mm.
Oh, wow. Wow, Tesla up and then back down with
Yeah, yeah,
aggression.
yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, Lewis Bolden in the chat room's asking why is AMD getting dumped over the last few days? I honestly think AMD is moving down just because it has no news, right? There's news. People are getting excited about other semiconductors, and it's almost like they're moving out of AMD into others. It's nothing particularly against AMD. It's just it's less interesting right now.
All right, friends. Let's see. We're back. We're back at it again here. Can we get 189 now? What does our market atlas? Yes. Come on. So it's keeping me in this tray is you. And it looks like you might deliver here. Let's see. 189.
Oh, wow.
Uh,
Nvidia.
start dipping your toe in there. You can do. Oh, look at. We just doubled. You saw that? Went from 40,000 to 80,000. Oh yeah, we're going. Did you guys see that? I gotta record this stuff. This is good training material because you can't really show. I can't show you this on screenshots, but you saw that went from 40,000 and then jumped to 80,000, and then we punched right through it. So partial here for me on Atlas. And a member sent us a great video. I gotta pull that video. He went like after hours and he was putting in orders in his system that were not gonna get filled, right? Like just limit orders. And you could see his actual orders come in. Like he was doing like 250, and then you see 250 sitting on that number. So that was pretty cool to kind of show you how the speed of how fast your orders show up. And that was nice to see. It was pretty cool. All right, partial on here in Nvidia. So that working nicely right now. So everything is still very bullish on Market Atlas here, friends. So I'm gonna try to hold as much as I can. Hopefully we get no big pullbacks that can keep us in this trade. And I'm also gonna try to be a little more patient with the parceling here if I can. If I can. Okay. All right. Don't. Okay, very good. 1, 2. And what else? What else we got going on? Big orders at 189.40. Yep. I see that 189.50 as well, and then massive orders at 190. Like massive, 107,000 shares traded up there. So we got plenty.
Wow. MU. There's no way I could have stayed in MU. I'm just watching it here and I'm like, I don't like the way it trades.
Nah, this is it's pretty sideways right now. Yeah, it's pretty choppy.
But you got Nvidia, Carlos. You got the move on Nvidia. Good on you. That's I'm sitting on a loss here so far.
Man. Let's see. Oh man, Nvidia. You're treating us very well. We might get 190 very easily, given how.
You think you're gonna get to 190?
I think so. I think
I hope so.
No reason why we shouldn't.
Yeah.
The way Atlas looks right now is just so clean. I like the way that's setting up there.
Yeah, it looks like 190 is in the cards. Let's see, what's Nvidia look like? Oh yeah, that's the only place where there's any orders. So it feels like that's the likely place for it to go to.
That's it, man. And if you look at, I mean, there's nothing towards the bottom. Now it's an area, right? Like I should be partially right around here. 189.90. I mean, come on, what are you waiting for, right?
Yes.
But we have a good cushion. So since we have a good cushion, we'll wait. But here, this is a partial. Like, let's see the push. There's the push. Yeah, I'm gonna partial here. So partial right at 190. And now you
got over it.
Yeah. So partial there, and you can see the visualization on here. There's still no orders to the downside. Like there's nothing down here. Now we have less orders to the top now, but they're still very bullish. So we might just see a regular pullback and hopefully continue to, go get these numbers if we can. So let's see. And it's like the girlfriend you always ask yourself, how do I get out of this mess? There's a few tickers like that do have that title. It's a toxic relationship. You just never leave. So it's there's a few tickers like that, a few trades like that. Oh man, sorry to hear that. What did you trade? What messed you up today? The great thing is that today's just today. Today's just today. It's just one trade. Market is back tomorrow. There's more trading to be done. I mean, it doesn't mean anything. Doesn't mean anything really. It's important. I don't want to say you got to be careless and it doesn't mean anything. Just do craziness. But one day, one trade is a very, very small picture. It's a very small pixel on your entire screen picture here, right? When it comes to trading, it's a very small pixel, right? So learn from it, move on quickly, but don't put too much weight on one trade or one day. It's very important, especially for those that are starting out brand new. So we got a lot of traders that are starting out their year of trading now because they like to start clean. 2026. It's so important to always zoom out and look at the big picture, right? It's just very, very important. All right, Nvidia is struggling with 190 now, so we got 3 partials in on this thing. Intel next stop, $43. Who traded Intel? Oh man, look at Intel. Wow. This is a $2 move from the open. Maybe
Yeah.
1.5 now.
Yeah.
This is wild.
It's amazing that it's always the one you're not watching, that makes the move.
Yeah, this is pretty nice, friends. This is pretty nice. I didn't even have it on my list today. So congrats to those taking advantage of
I
it.
usually just don't, because like you said,
Mm-hmm.
Carlos, it's always seems to move when you're not watching. So what's the other one that people were looking at that I hate to look at? How about Boeing? What's Boeing doing? Yeah, not much. Dropped a little bit. See, so they had good news. It was up pre-market. Look what it did. It dropped right back pretty much to the level it had been trading at pre-market before the news of the Alaskan Airlines order. And yeah. Oh, big drop on the market here. So let's take a look at our economic calendar because we do have the data that's coming. It looks like the market has potentially reacted to it. We'll start with the job openings, which is the big number. They came at 7.146 million versus the 7.6. So that's about 500,000 jobs short. The ISM manufacturing number, though, was actually higher at 54.4 versus 52. And the factory orders was expected to be down 1.3%. Was actually, sorry, down 1.1%, was actually down 1.3%. So a little bit of a mixed picture, mostly negative news, I suppose, but mildly negative, I would argue, because again, the job openings is November. Keep that in mind. The factory orders is October, and then the ISM for December, which is the most current number, is actually green. So the market looks like it did react negatively though to that news and is dropping. So I guess Carlos, we actually did get a reaction to data finally. It's the first time in a while.
Yeah, it's not been happening lately, so we are getting a reaction here. So interesting.
Yeah. So we're getting a pullback in a lot of things. I was looking at a Tesla short, but I didn't take it, and unfortunately, well, I mean, it did end up moving, but would have been tough. Not my typical trade. I guess I'm gonna have to wait. Hopefully, I'll get a good sort of mountain pass type reversal at some point on something, because I gotta get my money back from this loss that I have here.
You don't have to get your money back, but I get it. We all do the
Yeah.
same thing. Yeah. I can see a new trader. See, Peter's getting his money back. Me too.
Yeah,
Over
that's right.
trading. Oh boy, oh boy. All right, friends. All right, Nvidia pulling back a little bit here. I got 3 partials in already on this thing, so we're just gonna hang a stop loss at break even. I'm glad the VIAP is above our entry, so I'm hoping that with all this stuff in the way, the moving averages, the 9, the 20, hopefully the VWAP it can hold this thing and maybe push higher. So we'll just stick around, be patient, look for other opportunities on like Tesla coming back above the VWAP. We'll love to see that breakout. And we also have MUs just, but it traded. Was it yesterday? It traded so well. Like, what is wrong with you? Yesterday it traded so clean, right?
What is wrong with you?
What's wrong with you? Where is yesterday's action? So here, I mean, look at this beauty. So, yeah, nothing like yesterday today. So we'll see. Still very early. Just 33 minutes to the market open. I'm sorry. Into the market open, so nothing crazy. You going against? No, Mojito, my good buddy Mojito, you can go against me on this one. You can definitely go against, because look, you can go here short from like whatever strategy you got, and you got to the VWAP. You got to 9, like to the 20 moving average. So if you like a short here, absolutely go for it, right? We could both make money on this trade going opposite directions. So
absolutely, it's the miracle of different time perspectives, right?
Yeah. It's like there was a lady on I think she's Venezuelan, and she was saying on the news, she was saying like, both things could be true. We're celebrating that this happened, but we also don't agree with the way it happened. Like that was her view, right? And it's like both things can be true. I'm very happy what took place. I might not agree with the way it happened, but both things can be true. You don't have to pick one or the other. And same thing here. You could be riding a short for whatever place you're trying to get to, and I could be right on my long, right? Different time frames. So, and here we could be setting up for a double top if we were to make a new high, and that could be another opportunity for a short, right? So it's just the game, man. It's just the way it's played. The most important thing in everything is risk management. You manage your risk, you're going to survive this game. That's it. You don't manage your risk, you're not going to be around for a long time.
Nvidia is still it's still loaded to the top side here. It's at least the level 2. So I wouldn't I'm not calling it a double top yet because we've got to see what it's going to do. It still looks strong. So I think Nvidia only got pushed back because of the big market drop and took everything. So I'm not personally going to be reversing it yet. A little too much. Yeah, there we go. Just touched to a new high. So
all right, PLTR. So the question is, would I have taken this VWAP breakout on PLTR? I don't know. I'm assuming you mean this one right here, right? So the breakout here, the pullback. It's not as clean. It's not as clean. To be honest, I don't think I would have taken it, but would love to see how you took it. Send me an email. Carlos@bearwithtraders.com. Send me a screenshot. I would love to see how you took it. But to be honest, I don't know. Sometimes I could tell very quickly, yes, I would have taken that. This one here went up pretty high, came down pretty good below the VWAP.
It didn't.
Yeah, I don't think it didn't do our move.
If you look at the 5-minute, Carlos, it didn't really do an engulfing. It would have been hard to take.
Yeah, I wouldn't have taken this one. So this would have been a tough one. But sometimes there are plays that for your strategies that are not an A+ setup. They could be a B. Man, sometimes we're taking C+ setups and they work, right? You got to be careful with the C+ though, right? You just can't be going that far down the rabbit hole. But, sometimes they don't look pretty and they can end up working out. So we'd love to see how you took it. All right, let's see, friends. Nvidia. Oh, yes. I'm watching it, guys. I'm watching it.
191 now.
And just look at this. Look at this. It's just nothing. Yeah. Nobody wants it down here. Everybody says, come up to us. Come up to 191. Come up to 192. 193. Things could change. As we break through these levels, things could change. But right now, nobody's interested in this towards the bottom. I'm going to partial
amazing, here. We're at 191, and I was busy trying to short it at 188. So it just shows you, right? Like these things can move. That's why you have your risk management. You just
there it is.
I took my loss and got out, and that's fine. I don't like it, but it is what it is. It was the right decision, at least, to get out.
Look at the big bubble of orders being transacted there, and I am taking a partial here as well at 191. So, again, hopefully regular pullback since there's nothing here, and hopefully continue to climb. But man, Nvidia has turned on the jets and said, "Let's go." So. Beautiful.
Let's go.
Yeah. SanDisk also doing some stuff. MU above the VWAP now, friends. So that is looking interesting. Nvidia doing its thing. Tesla coming up to the VWAP. So if you're looking for a VWAP breakout, Tesla's right below it. Didn't quite break, but let's see if we can hold this momentum going up and do something. Amazon, great start, kind of plateau a little bit here. GameStop. Oh, we have not rolled the truck today, but we will right now. This is ugly. Wow.
For GameStop?
Yeah. Disgusting. This is wakala. I don't want nobody want no parts of that. Oof. Yeah, no, we'll leave that alone. All right, let's continue. Yes, garbage trucks in chat, friends. Absolutely. Oh. All right, and then APLD did something, broke out, but just again not a great trading stock. And glue is breaking out, friends. Continuing here, hitting 25. Wow. So finally getting some kind of move. Volume has increased over the last couple of minutes, and it might be on a run here. So if you like this one, looking good. Tesla, what did Tesla do? Right now, I think it's looking better than it did the last, from 950 to about 1005. Right, this was not great. I think now it's looking a little bit better. We're at least getting some candles in here, some kind of patterns moving. Right, so from here to here, not great. The morning here, not great to the actual breakout. Then got sloppy, and now it's actually looking better than it has been in a while. So I'm with you there.
Yeah.
Let's see here. All right, how are our X friends doing? Friends on X, what do we got? Intel out of the majority. At my target, left a little just in case, and also GP Trader, Ola on PLTR at previous day close, 3 hours. Very nice, very nice. And you guys in chat, Candy, did you take Nvidia or Amazon? I know you called out Amazon earlier. I wonder which one you took here. Rough day, but made 2%. I can dig that. I understand that.
Wow.
We've been there. We went. We were green, but it was not the easiest, the cleanest. So we've been there.
Wait, if you made 2% of your account, you're either betting too much here, or if you say it was a tough day and you made 2%, that should be a good day.
Yeah, but it still could be a rough day, right? It's a great day, but it still could be a rough day depending how you made that 2%, right?
True. I guess so. Yeah.
So yeah. Is market rigged? I think I don't know if it's.
What an interesting question.
That's a very interesting question. I depends. If you're winning, it's not rigged. If you're losing, it is. That's just how usually people think.
What do you mean by rigged?
If you're winning, it's no, it's not rigged. It depends. Perfect.
No, but it honestly depends what you mean by rigged, right? Like, does it favor the deep pockets and the big banks? Absolutely. The market is structured around their ability to make profits.
Yes.
So is it, if that's what you consider rigged, then yes. Is it specifically out to get you? No, it's not. But it is not designed for your profitability. It's designed for the profitability of, again, the big banks and the deep pockets. That's just how it works. So, yeah.
Absolutely. And it's, long term, the market is great. Like if you're thinking long term, the market is awesome, right? You want to be in the market. Right. What we're doing is a lot more riskier. It's a lot short term. It's a lot more speculative, and trying to do this is difficult. It's difficult, but the market's not out to get you. Other things are out to get you. Your greed, your FOMO, that stuff is out to get you. And I still remember. I remember this, dude. This was a big shocker for me, and you probably guys heard the story before, but I'll do it quickly here. I was trading, and man, it was either Friday. I forgot what it was, Friday or Thursday. But anyway, I'm trading my butt off, Peter, and I'm losing, and I just keep getting kicked. And every time I'm like, emotions are flying high, man. And I'm doing some heavy size, like I'm risking like 200, 300 per trade, brand new trader. That's not good, right? So I'm making 600, then I'm losing 900. Like, it's bad. At the end, I am down. I lost probably like about $2,000. what made me so mad about it is that every time I went short, I got stopped out. And I'm like, you know what? So if you want to go long, AMD, I'm going to go long. So I'll flip my position and go long. And then guess what? Goes back down. So I'm
Right.
losing on both
Right.
ends. I'm on tilt. And I'm just like, you know what? This is BS. The market's out to get me. This is rigged. This is ridiculous. Close my position. I come back a few like hours later to do my journal, which I'm not happy about. When I look at my account, Peter, I was in
Yeah.
sim.
Oh
I
yes, I
forgot
remember
to
that.
I
Okay.
forgot
Yeah.
to switch it over.
Yeah.
And I just laughed for a minute and I'm just like, wow. All my trades were not in the market, but
Yeah.
in my head, you are out to get me. And the market didn't even know I
Yeah.
was playing the game. So
Yeah.
that was a big like eye opener, like, dude, you're so small in this picture here that you're not even affecting the market and you're playing this game in your head. It's all in my head. It was all me. The market did nothing to know where my stops were, where my orders were. I had no idea what was happening. So, just keep that in mind. And, it was, the emotions were there, but the emotions were real. Like I was pissed.
Oh
Like
yeah.
I was going
You're
through it.
living it.
And so that was a very interesting experience. So, but
Oh
yeah.
man, Nvidia. You know what? I was chicken on shorting Nvidia here at the top. I had the 191 short entry and didn't take it. Would have worked well for the last 6, 7 minutes here. Oh well.
Yep.
One,
Yep.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 minutes. Yeah. Oh well.
Yep. 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 All right, pulling back to 20 on Nvidia. Atlas is still extremely bullish, so I'm just hanging on and seeing how much we get out of this. So hit my goal today. I am out. Good luck, everyone. Nice, man. Go fly. Excellent. Good stuff. Don't leave without hitting that thumbs up. It's bad luck for tomorrow. So make sure you do that. Make sure you do that. But friends, reminder, we are doing our funded account later today. It's for our Lambos and Garbage Truck members. So if you want to join the funded account, you can do so. Head over to YouTube channel, our YouTube channel, and then in there click join and be part of the Lambos and Garbage Truck member. We'll give another funded account away. We had a winner yesterday, and today we'll do another one. So far, we've given away 14 free funded accounts so far, right? So we're gonna continue doing that every day until I run out of codes that Andrew has provided for us here. So stick around for that.
Stick
Thank you,
around
Melanie.
for that for sure.
Thank you. Yeah, this entry was. I was gonna wait to like 180. We were talking through it, right? I was gonna wait to 180, 151 because that's what we wanted. But when it didn't break down lower than the V, I'm like, man, I could get a really good entry here and have my stop at the same place I would have had it here anyways. Because I think technically that's where stop needs to be. And it worked out good. It worked out good. It got a nice push up. But if not, I would have entered here, taken less shares, and my stop would have still been here. I think it still would have worked out. But this one obviously much better, risk to reward and stuff. So, and Atlas had a big part in that because when we looked at Atlas, it was just all. Even when it was doing
Yeah.
all of this stuff, it was all
Yep.
bullish. So the
It
big
was very
part of that,
bullish. Yeah.
yeah, yep. So that definitely helped. Tesla decided to take a nap. What is Tesla doing? Tesla, yeah, it's back and forth. Never broke the VWAP. Struggled.
No, it is. It is back and forth here.
Struggled to get that going. And
Meta had a big drop here this morning. It's looking weak right from the open, but accelerated on the way down after 9:45. Opposed to Amazon that went up and then it's now been moving sideways since 9:45. So
wow, look at Meta. Nana Pulov.
Nana Pulu.
And
I love it.
interesting name. I love it. Love the name here. Welcome to the Lambos and Garbage Truck family, my friend. Good to have you. Uh, uh, Nvidia. I know people were trading Google as well. So long. And I know people were trading Intel. I mean, you guys had some Intel. Look at Intel going to 44. You guys have some really good trades today. Some of the stuff you're watching. So that's pretty cool there. Ben, so you're still long TSL and you're long Intel. That's awesome. AMD did break the VWAP, but it's just kind of like it's just kind of slumped over the VWAP line. Like it didn't really do the move we're looking for. It's just kind of like tripped over it. Yeah, it's just like like yeah, let's get over the VWAP. So I find this stuff to trade. You can get the breakout, but my strategy is a little bit different than this, and we didn't even get the pullback either to engulf on top of that. So,
yeah, I think Andrew's having a rough day today.
oh no,
he didn't get the good side of Nvidia here, so.
Oh man.
Carlos, looks like Nvidia is heading back to 191. We'll see if it can if it
Yeah.
holds that high or if
Yep.
it breaks higher.
Yeah, we'll see what it does here.
91.08 is the current high.
Andrew needs to so move to a better time zone. I think they will help him a lot. I think it will.
He's very
man.
depressed about the weather in Vancouver.
He's not feeling this weather at all. He's not feeling the time zone. He is just not happy, and it could be reflecting in his trading. To be honest, because it's early.
Winter
man.
fog. I mean, it is Vancouver in the winter, which means it's generally overcast and foggy. But yeah, it seems to be weighing on him. So.
Oh, I see he's put his sign up. Very nice. I like that.
Oh,
that looks awesome.
Oh yeah,
look at that.
It does have
it is. Ooh,
a little more stylized than the last one. I liked it.
Yeah,
very similar, but
there it is. So very nice, very nice. I like that there. Anna Siolan. Anna Siolan, welcome to Lambos and Garbage Truck. Great to have you as well. Good to have you. Welcome. All right, stick around for the giveaway a little bit later for the free funded account. Go ahead, Peter.
I'm watching Nvidia here to see if we've got a reversal, a double top reversal opportunity, because it did get volume on the first time at the high. It's getting lower volume as it's tempting now. The problem is that the Atlas level 2 is still bullish. So I don't want to take too much risk here because it does look like it wants to go higher. I'm not seeing a lot of downside interest, so we'll have to see. It's a good time. It's about the right time of day for these double top reversals to happen. So the timing's right, but it's yeah. We'll have to see. Let's see what we got here. Still the high holds here. 191.08 is that high. Let's see. We're coming up on it right now. 2 cents away, 1 cent. No, it just touched it. It just touched it, but didn't break it. There it is. There it is. It just broke the high by a couple of cents. So there you go. See, there it goes higher. Okay, that's why you wait. That's why you wait. And Brian is talking about the exact trade that I'm looking at here. He's saying that I would have shorted it here. He knows I'm watching it, but it didn't. It went higher though, right? It broke my rule.
I was on mute. I didn't notice I was on mute. Sorry about that.
Oh.
I was just agreeing with you and saying, still got to be careful with the market Atlas because it's so bullish, man. Like showing you guys here. So it's just, we'll see. But does it mean even with a bullish Atlas like this, it's starting to dwindle down a little bit. You can still get a drop to like, as I was saying, 190.04, which is still good short if you're taking from the top, right? So So we'll have to see. What else? What else? Surge. Oh, thank you for reposting the stream, my friend. Appreciate that. Thank you for the support over on X. People can repost the stream. That's pretty cool. All right, we'll follow you here. Very nice. All right. Tesla coming one more time up against the VWAP. Let's see if we can get something done here. So it's just trying to get up there again. See if this time is the one. Friends over on YouTube, we're sitting just below 400. We're right there. We are literally a 368. So help us get up there to 400. That is our goal. Once we get to 400, we're happy. We're like, okay, we made it. We did our job on YouTube. So if you haven't had the opportunity to do so, hit that thumbs up. It helps us out a bunch. All right, Nvidia pulling back.
Yeah, I did take a short on Nvidia. I stopped at a break even just because it did poke higher here. I mean, it's looking more tentative now, but we'll see what it's gonna do.
Nice.
I'm back shorts on Nvidia now.
You guys are awesome. Peter, I don't got your screen.
Moving my stop to break even.
Nice.
Here, and if I get stopped out, then I'm just gonna let it. I don't want to take a lot of risk here, but come on, I just want it to drop straight on here. I'm gonna take a quick partial there. All right, screen. I am sharing a screen, Carlos.
Oh, okay. So then it's me.
Or am I? Maybe I'm not. Hold on a sec. Maybe did I forget to do that this morning? Hold on. I thought I was.
I don't see it, but it could be me.
Oh,
JC Schrader, hold on. You're late to the party, you say, but man, I'm just glad you made it. You made it. So we're happy to have you.
Here we are. I lied. Now I'm sharing a screen.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
There you go. Now I got you. Now I got you.
You can see my two shorts there, and Nvidia and the stop out here. I took that partial. We'll see. It's got to stay below 191 essentially for me to stay in this. If it comes back over, it's gonna take me out here probably at 191.05. You know, oh, there you go. So it just took me out. That's unfortunate, but I don't want to take too much risk because this thing has been so strong, and the Atlas still is bullish. It's still bullish to the top side. So you gotta be careful on these. I do think that there's a pullback coming. I just don't know if it's now or it's a shame if I get stopped out here and then it drops. I don't want to chase it, but man, it does looking better for a. Yeah, it's very tentative here. It's very interesting. The pattern, so we got a conflict in data, right? The pattern looks like it wants to drop here, but the Atlas, basically the order data shows higher. So, you know, that is that just puts it at a higher risk trade, right? Because you just don't know which direction. It could sort of spike either way, spike higher or spike lower. So
yeah, agreed.
Are you still long, Carlos?
I am. Yeah, I'm still long in it.
Right.
I took a partial when it at 10:08 when it hit 191.06. So I took a partial there, and I'm just hanging out, man. And seeing if we can go any higher. But you know, eventually this thing will come down to the VWAP, I think. But right now, I'm just waiting for Atlas to change. Right now, Atlas looks so strong. It's keeping me. It's allowing me to be more patient with my partials in this trade. That's for sure.
Okay.
There's no reason to jump out just yet.
So like this, see how we get this sudden move higher and suddenly Nvidia shows strength, but then that strength
Hmm.
gets pulled just as quickly. So it's very tenuous, very tentative up here.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
just, it's not those aren't the nice aggressive moves I'm typically looking for. So I'll sit and wait. If I miss the drop, then so be it, right? I tried it twice. It didn't drop right away. That's
Hmm.
okay.
Yes. 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 Okay. Here we go. See if Nvidia can do something.
Now, it would be nice for me if Nvidia comes up to 191.20 and then shows a whole lot of weakness up there, because that would be a good short with a stop over the high of day. That I don't know if it's going to do that, but we'll see. All right, there's my 10:30 alarm telling me that we're an hour into this market. Can you believe it's only been an hour? Feels like it's been a lot
I
longer.
know. Yeah. Yep. Yep. Does feel that way for sure.
It's one of those days.
Um.
Netflix dropped last 20 minutes here.
mm, mm. So it's I got I don't know if I would love to know if Nike did this intentionally. I think they did, but I got a Nike ad for the suit that Maduro was wearing when he one of the pictures, that great Nike suit jumpsuit. There's an ad
I
on
saw that.
IG that just popped up, and I'm like, with a gentleman with the glasses on. I'm like, man, you did not waste a beat, not miss a beat, and got this done so quickly. If that was intentional, might as well take the
Wow.
marketing. Might as well. All right, looks like our friends are coming over to YouTube. See if I can get
Yeah,
this.
come on. Oh, see, it looks like I might have missed the drop here in Nvidia,
Yeah.
but it was tough. Hello, everybody in the chat room. We're back. It's
Hello,
been a tough day
friends.
here. As you can see, I've been trying to trade Nvidia short. I took two short attempts, basically stopped at a break even on both. I do have a loss earlier on Nvidia where I was trying to get it short at the VWAP early on. Obviously, I got that initial direction wrong, but we'll it's
Yeah.
just one of those days. It's been interesting. There's been opportunity. I just haven't been in the right place.
Good morning, everybody.
Morning,
All
Andrew.
right. Good morning, Andrew.
How are you guys doing?
Andrew, how you doing this
Good.
morning? We're talking about you. We're a little worried that you seem to be, down with the weather in Vancouver. It seems like the gray skies are weighing on you.
Oh, I know, like I'm down. I think I have a seasonal depression and I'm trading. Like in 2026, I lost every single day. Like it's been 3 days that I'm losing. Um, I know, unfortunately, today was a bad day again. So we had a small win on AMD, nothing on NVDA, and a loss on TSLL. So I'm back on TSLL. I want to see if Tesla TSLL can go higher. But it did really pop and really squeeze. So I added more, but it really never went back. So I got to stop out. But now back long and it's and see if can go up. They have some order at 436 on Tesla. Um,
Yeah, the markets queues are at high of day now. It doesn't just every day so far. We've had the buyers come in, save the day,
yeah,
and
for now
yeah, it's crazy.
Intel is
Okay,
crazy. Intel is at 52-week high, went up to almost 44 60. So that's a very big move on Intel. Uh, it's not all-time high. Intel used to trade higher, but now it's really amazing move back up. Huh?
Yeah, I forgot about that. I also tried a short on Micron earlier today, but man, that was a crazy stock to try and trade. It's just spread
Peter,
is big. The
I was sure
range is
you
too
were
big for me.
short Intel when it broke through 44.
Yeah, I heard you mentioning that, and I was actually watching Nvidia right at that time. But I
Wow.
mean, clearly it was probably a good thing that I wasn't trying to short it because Intel went up a little higher there. But
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it went to 40.
I wasn't looking at it. I don't like Intel. Intel's not aren't friendly, so I just generally avoid it.
Carlos did an amazing
Yeah,
trade on
that's right.
NVDA. So Carlos went long NVDA at
He
around
did.
943, went all the way up to 191.
Yeah, it was kind of a double bottom. Intel's finally pulling back. I'd watch Intel for an entry if we get to 4350. That would be a sort of a classic 920 trade, but it's kind of late in the day for 920.
So market dropped for this ISM and Jolts number. Bonds also dropped, but it seems that slowly they're recovering. So let's see if TSLL can go back for the high of the day on Tesla. Peter, what's your New Year resolution?
I purposely didn't make any. Usually they're just an excuse not to do the thing you said you're going to do. So,
Yes, that's a good way to do it.
I mean, I have things I want to accomplish in 2026, but I'm trying not. They're not resolutions. They're continuation of the objectives I had at the end of last year. So,
What are the things that you want to accomplish in 2022? For six,
well,
sorry.
I definitely want to travel more than I did last year. Last year was not a great travel year for me. I didn't end up going very far, other than to France, and so starting with a trip to Aruba, so that'll be nice. And then, I definitely have some trading objectives. I just have to continue to. I want to get better at this open thing, Andrew. I watch you and Brian and even Carlos here, trying to learn from you guys. I've watched you for years. I'm just not good at it. It's not my personality. So, I want to add to my portfolio a little bit more effectively.
Nice.
So, I'm building strategies, trying to get more comfortable with it because it's not my comfort zone.
Nice, though. That's great. I mean, I've been struggling now, but this TSLL is doing good. So I want to see if Tesla, this one looks good.
Yeah, it's
See if we
kind
can,
of breaking out.
yeah,
SPY's
so
gone back
SPY
green
is
on the
going
day.
up. So I'm long TSLL,
Yeah.
guys. Maybe this one saves me. All right, 17. Let's put some order on 1795. What do you think, Brian? Are you in this with me?
I'm watching Intel, just taking an entry on that one on Intel at 4375.
I put some order here at,
Looking at this.
and if TSLL can go, that would be nice. Yeah, YouTube is really nice. How to deal with seasonal depression trading at the same time. Ben, he says, well, Ben is in YouTube is asking trading deal with seasonal depression and trading at the same time. Act number one, leave, quit.
Yeah, it's probably not a good combination.
Don't stay in Vancouver or Canada in winter. Like literally in Canada, if you go out, you die. Like that's how the situation is. Like, why would you be there? Like in
That sounds a little extreme.
That's exactly like in Alberta right
Yeah, a
now, you
little
go out, you
extreme.
die. Like you wait for a bus, the bus is late, you die.
I didn't like that rejection on Intel.
I think
Feel
we
lucky
lost
then.
Andrew. He was a good man. Did Andrew freeze? Did Andrew
Yeah.
step outside?
He
He
must
opened the shades.
he must have opened the window. He
He
opened
opened the
window.
shades.
Yeah.
He was a good man.
Oh my God. And he died.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I say, if you're
Look,
gonna die,
this is
that's a
our
great
this
smile
frozen
to
one.
go with.
Enjoy it.
It's a
Yeah.
great
This is
smile.
our last image of him. Picture that with icicles hanging from his nose and his eyebrows. That's basically what he looks like now. He's just he's an androsicle. Sorry guys. He
Sorry,
succumbed
guys.
to
Andrew
the
opened the window
Canadian
and
weather.
he died. Oh, he's
Oh, there he
back.
is.
There he is. He's
Oh,
back.
he's
He
alive.
unfroze himself.
Oh,
He
look
closed
at
the
the
shades.
drop on Nvidia. Oh, wow. Darn it.
Wow, there was a big drop on the SPY and the Qs. What happened there?
Yeah. Yeah.
Something happened.
Something happened. Ay, ay, ay. See, I knew
I'm
it. I
gonna,
knew it.
yeah,
Brian, I knew it.
yeah. See,
Just, I
you knew it.
wasn't short for
Yeah,
it.
I'm gonna have to get out of that. I'm not.
Why wasn't I short?
That looked like it was gonna go, and then we had something drop. That was a drag because it looked like it was Intel was going to bounce right back up there until we got whatever news just came through. Well, let's see what it does here. So right around my break even right now. Come on, Intel, come on back up. It's got to get back through that 9 EMA on the 2-minute chart. That's where it's stalling out here.
Sorry guys, can you hear me, guys?
Yep, we got you.
I can hear you. Yep.
Yeah, my internet just died. I told you, everything is dying in Vancouver. Even my internet died. Um, TSLA, yeah. Um, the DAS, the internet went outside, it died. Yeah. So anything, seems that everything is
Oh,
dying,
there's
huh?
Nvidia.
All right. So I'm still long on TSLA. Like I feel some at 1795. So let's see what happened to SPY, like in 1038. Somebody just dropped something.
Something about some Nvidia news in China. I know the Chinese were looking at this. Nvidia was buying that company. I don't think they were, and they were moving to Taiwan or something. Come on, come on, Intel, giddy up.
NVDA dropped. So the news was for NVDA, huh?
Yeah, there we go. Going back through 44 now. Perfect.
Wow, that's a big volatility on NVDA. So
All right, I'm
yeah,
gonna sell a little bit of Intel here.
I'm gonna some short NVDA here at 189.13. Let's
Ooh,
see.
here we go. Look at this. This is your this is a 920. Unfortunately, we had that little dip when that news came out, but we managed to hold through it.
Yeah, I'm shorting NVDA a little bit here below the VWAP. Like, see if this news got some volume. All right, so it's
We just sold
dropping.
some more.
There's some order 188. Oh, that's good. Come on,
Nice,
188.
nice short. Beauty.
Let's see if we can get to 188. Looks like a bad news. The volume is really picking up. So see if we can actually get to 188. So the news is that China said Chinese company to stop ordering H series. I'm still long TSLL too. My stop loss is below the VWAP. NVDA is bouncing back. The volume is crazy on NVDA. Right, I guess the market that digested NVIDIA news, it's not that bad, huh? Yeah, I'm getting out. I'm covering my short on NVIDIA, guys. It looks like it, like at 10:44, it really squeezed bounce back. So it seems that might be a rumor. Yeah, I mean, whatever it is, it really didn't seem that. If it's something that is really bad, so you don't expect these huge squeezes. But
Anyone take that 920 trade with me on Intel? That was kind of a bit of a no-brainer trade. It was Intel's been so
wow,
strong.
yeah,
When
that
you
was a
do
good
finally get
920.
this pullback, unfortunately, we had that bad news right at, and it took it a little bit below the 20, but we started to snap back, so I just held on. I
Seems
was
that my
took some more off there at 420. Nice buy in Paras. In Paris.
yeah, NVIDIA bounced back, huh? Tesla,
Oh,
TSLL. Yeah, what a weird morning. Any question, guys, about trading? Brian did a nice 920 on Intel. That was really nice. For those of you who don't
yeah.
know what 920 is, you're looking for a strong stock that is moving significantly. And let me bring the pen. So you're looking for a stock that is very strong. That's the pen here.
Yeah,
So you look for
you
this
want it to
very strong.
be, you don't want it to
Yeah.
be, you don't want to have a big jump. You want to have a nice clean move up like that one, not a huge jump up. You want a nice steady move shows that there's buyers consistently in the market buying pullbacks.
And then this is a 20 moving average. And then this is a 9 moving average on a 2-minute chart. Again, very important, the time frame. So as soon as it comes past the 20, you buy, you put a stop loss below that. And then, the first target would be 9. And if you're lucky, it would be the high of the day. Again, that would be another target. This looks like a perfect 920. I was thinking of
Yeah.
taking it, but it doesn't happen very often. But when it does happen, when you find it correctly, it's usually pretty strong. Oh, I'm glad I got
Yeah,
out
it's
of
usually a
NVDA.
strong trending stock.
Exponential moving averages. So the 9 and 20 are exponential. 50 and 100 and 200 are usually simple. So it's very common that they choose two exponential moving average close to the price, usually with the ratio 1 to 2, like 715, 918, 1020. Doesn't matter. And then the bigger ones are simple, like 50, 200, 100. Wow, market is reaping back up.
I know it's just doesn't matter what happens. It's just anytime you get bad news, you get a drop, and then the buyers just flood back in.
Yeah,
And
it's
buying just
amazing.
comes right back in. This isn't going to last, but it's just so predictable right now. Yeah, so the 920 is yeah, like I said, it quite often happens earlier in the day, like around 10:10, 10:15. This happened a little later in the day. As far as this being a mountain pass, I know Peter has a very specific set of criteria that he looks at for a mountain pass. Yeah, you could call this a higher low on Intel. No, not a higher low, a lower high, um, or a double top.
Yeah.
It's really,
Guys,
really
funded
hard to short
accounts.
this stock.
Yeah, funded account traders are really
Like,
good. So today we had a couple of other really good ones. Sunil made $2,000. Carlos, go full screen so you can see that. So again, that's really nice. Sunil, another $2,000, and then we had Kushik, 4,900. So $5,000. Congratulations. So almost every day we have six, seven, eight, $10,000. Dimitri was yesterday $10,000. So make sure, guys, to trade well on the funded account. And then you send an invoice after 3 months. It's going pretty well for traders. Really well done. And every day, Carlos is giving away one trading terminal funded account on YouTube. It's doing pretty well, guys. Congratulations. So, and there was,
yeah,
and you had to be, unfortunately, has to be through PayPal, but we had another person from Tanzania. He won. Khalifa Ferouz, he sent me an email and said that in Tanzania we can't have PayPal. He's from Dar es Salaam, so he's asking if he can do it through a different PayPal. But this is interesting because this guy's in Tanzania. He doesn't have access to a lot of these tools that we have. But he's trading, learning a skill, and he eventually finds money to essentially trade. But it doesn't matter if you're in Dar es Salaam in Tanzania. He's learning trading as cheap as possible. Like what is it? $59 in trading terminal is nothing. Even in Tanzania, I think they can pay, but learning that a lot of people say I don't have money for trading, but first learn the skill. The money is eventually coming. Either you gotta get an inheritance or somebody's borrowing it to you, lending it to you. Somehow you can actually go find the money eventually at one stage of your life. So just learn it first. So that's very important. Learning the skill because it takes a few years to really master it. You have cheap simulators, you have these funded accounts, you have these prop firms. Just get into learning it. All right, Q's back to the high of the day. This is all-time high, huh?
yeah,
No, actually
yeah.
for Q's
Spies
it's
back.
not.
No, Qs are breaking out though.
Yeah, I've been to Tanzania. It's a very beautiful country. I climbed Kilimanjaro in Tanzania. Yes, Ryan. Yes, that is true. Yeah, Tanzania is definitely a very beautiful country. All right, so let's see if this TSLL Tesla goes to go to half the day. I'm still long on Tesla. The Atlas shows something
Yeah.
at 437. Half the day is at 438. So we have some really big orders at 437, 438. Let's see.
Yeah, I'm out of Intel because it lost that 9 EMA again. It didn't stay above there. You want to see it continue to go higher, go back to high of day, and then even possibly go to a new high. But right now it's just getting choppy. Tesla still looks good. It's good.
Yeah,
You've got
still
some bullish orders. Yeah, you've got some bullish orders on the upside there.
yeah, still
437, 438, 439.
So Eben is asking in the chat room, do you provide the stocks on the rise for 15 to 20% shorting profit? Our community is not really focused on shorting these penny stocks. There are some communities that they do everything pretty much every day, shorting these penny stocks. We are mostly, technical analysis on mid float stocks and higher float stocks. Shorting these penny stocks are super tricky. You got to be really, really careful on that. And you probably need a different broker on that. With interactive brokers, you can't find these hard to borrow stocks. You have to go with like other brokers like Centerpoint or Cobra. That they're all designed for this type of thing. But they're pretty dangerous. We have to be very, very careful on that. Shorting these strong stocks are generally very, very, very difficult. Um,
Yeah.
but other than that, I mean, there is really big money to be made, honestly, every single day on these these indexes like S&P 500, um, from Tesla, NVDA. Even if you don't have enough money to buy them, you can always go with the options that they have or with the leverage ETFs that they have.
Yep.
Yeah, Tesla looks like it's really struggling to go higher. It's not fun anymore. Yeah, again, I had the third loss of 2026 for me. Um, how much did I lose today? I am down $10,000. So I am down $10,000, unfortunately, again. But I'm sure I'm going to get back my mojo.
Yeah. I think, yeah, I got kind of chopped up with trading Tesla this morning. Managed to trade myself back into the green with some option trades on the SPY.
Yeah. All right, guys. So Thor is here. I don't know, Carlos, if you want to do the funder account to
Yeah,
members of Lambo Garbage Truck.
absolutely, friend. Let's do it. All right, guys. Hashtag funded in chat. We will get this going for our funded account. So, all right,
I really like
nice.
your new sign up there, boss. That's glowing strong.
I know, yeah, I'll
Hey,
get a
yeah,
new
there you
new
go.
sign. Brian took
Yeah.
my
Brian stole Andrew's other sign for everyone who doesn't
yeah,
know.
so
Brian never got a sign. Brian just commandeered Andrew's sign when he wasn't paying attention.
It sure did.
And apparently shipping from Brian to Andrew is more expensive than just Andrew getting a new sign.
yeah.
All right, friends.
Yeah.
Here goes. Here's for
Uh,
our funded account. Our winner is JD Rex. JD Rex, you are the winner, my friend.
nice.
Email us
Congratulations.
bearbutrators.com. You are the winner.
Congrats.
Congrats, my
That's
friends. Carlos at
amazing.
bearbutrators.com. We'll get you all set up. All right.
All right,
Congrats.
guys. Thank you so much. I'm gonna hand it over. I'm still in
Thank
TSLL.
you.
I haven't got a stopped out, but most likely I'm gonna get a stopped out. And yeah, I had a last day, so looking forward to see you guys. Today is Wednesday, so is that who's coming today? Is it Dr. Vanessa coming?
So just me, unfortunately, today. Dr. Vanessa has like the Black Plague or something today. She's got like the flu.
Ooh,
So
Hmm.
oh no.
unfortunately, she is not on today. So yeah.
All right. Well, in that case, see you guys. Ciao, ciao.
So well, in that case, yeah.
Okay. See you guys.
So first off, we got to make sure we have to point out how quickly that exit happened once we found out Dr. V wasn't on. You don't do that to me, everybody on here. No, I'm just kidding. I'm so happy to see everybody today. But there is like, I mean, everybody's got it. I have a little congestion going on myself. And my kids have both been sick. I mean, it's all right, so I'm in the middle of a bit of a heartbreaker myself right now that might still work. So I wanted to show everybody the trade that I'm in on Tesla. Now I won't be on tomorrow. Actually, I'm gonna have Nathan tomorrow will be covering for me on Thursday. I'm gonna be bouncing around a little bit as I like to do lately. But I'll be here Friday. So, but Tesla was a beautiful cam call today, and it still is actually. I'm trying to go from R3 to S3 on this one. I really did not have too bad of a risk on this one, so I've got a really nice entry on it, and I'm really kind of stoked to see if this works out. It was really moving after I got into it, so I was really happy. But then it bounced off the previous day's close and came back up and gave us another chance to get in if you missed the boat. So I'm still hanging on to this one. I did like it because on Market Atlas, we could see some large orders tiered very nicely to the downside. And we seem to have a lack of structure above the top side of the orders. So this looked like a particularly good ticker to try and short, and it certainly worked. But unfortunately, I can't control what happens afterwards, right? So since then, things have kind of changed a little bit. Unfortunately, I like this ticker or this trade so much. I'm just going to kind of hang on to this one. And I had a really nice day yesterday. And then on my on Friday to start off the year, I had one of my best single trades ever while I was walking around a theme park. So I'm not stressed out here if this one loses, but it's the only thing I've got going on today. I didn't find any other trades that I was really interested in any kind of a major way otherwise. I did like RTY looked good at S3 and we had exhausted pretty well, but we never really found our buying. So it looked good for a minute, but it just died. But it was a nice spot. I really liked RTY a lot. But unfortunately, this one, it just didn't find enough buying and it's still struggling to find buying. Right. So not in love with that. NQ was my favorite ticker to look for today, and I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting. NQ for me to play NQ, it needs to get all the way to R4, but it is a candidate now. Now that, so you can see, check this out. With the new cam system, notice we don't actually tell you it's a candidate or even bother you with it until it's actually in the right range. And so you can see that R4 is highlighted red, and it's only highlighted red when the price gets above R3, right? If we go back under R3, it's going to turn that off. Right, because I don't want you to spend time looking at cams and stuff that aren't useful or that aren't working for you. And I want you to know which one's the target cam that you should be paying attention to. So if we get close enough to R4 and we get the right VPA, we'll signal this call, right? And maybe we can run R4 back to the CP. Our ATR low actually is still outside of S4, so there's a lot of potential for a big melt at the end of the day on NQ. So what I'm kind of hoping is we'll struggle higher towards R4, and then like maybe around like 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock after the lunch crowd comes back in, we'll get some kind of a hit or some kind of an announcement or something happen. We'll get a big melt and we'll run the range all the way back towards 2 days ago's close. At least that's what I'm kind of waiting for. So yeah, isn't it nice, Eric? Don't you like the new thing? No, that's not snow. That's just that's a concrete. That's concrete, and that's grass. I'm in Florida right now. That's grass and water. In Florida, at least for another half a day. I don't plan on being here for long. I live in St. Augustine. Yeah, I spent the whole New Year's in Orlando bouncing around theme parks with my boyo and some people I really care about. Hey, good morning, Eric. It's good to see everybody. If you don't mind, 2 seconds, could you throw a little thumbs up action for me? Just make sure you've done that. I'm sure you have. But if you haven't, the bots that we pay for, they don't seem to do the thumbs up very well. So Tesla, look at Atlas. We brought on some orders to the top side, so it's not surprising that it's squeezed. I'm just not willing to get out of this position because I actually believe I have the best price of the day. You know what I mean? Like for me, I don't want to give up Tesla right now because I just think I've got the best price of the day. I don't think if I get out of this position, I'm going to get a better entry on this one. So the only answer to me being right or wrong on this position is getting stopped out. So I, even break even's not good. I can't do break even on this one because look, if I was break even, my break even is like 436 and change. I'm already there. I would have just got stopped out. I would have got stopped out here. Right, but I believe I'm safe because I don't think it's going to make a new high of day and break out. I think we're going to stay under the high of day. I think eventually we're going to sell and break low of day. So we'll see what happens. Right, but I don't necessarily believe. I mean, I guess if I got out here and took the break even and it wicked up, maybe I could get closer to R3 and get my stop higher. That would be nice. But if I get stopped, I can still do that. Maybe. Yeah, Jose, it worked, right? It took a minute, but it got there. Ah, bats. I do. Hey, are any of you going to Vegas? Is anyone going to go to Vegas? So I might be showing you guys a loser in a minute. I'm not sure. You know what I mean? Like right now, this was looking very beautiful. It's the only trade I've taken today. It was looking very beautiful, but unfortunately, it's just not happening, right? It's coming up here. I've got a fairly strong book actually to the top side. So there's a pretty decent chance. 438.60, 438. My stop's like right here above R3. There's a decent chance we're going to blow this high and get me. If we do, I likely will not re-enter, right? Because we'll be making a new high of day after 10:30. So I lose my stats here. So this has to hold inside of here for this to be viable, right? So this has to stay. So if this one doesn't work, then it just is what it is. But I really like this one a lot. I still like this one. Like if this was here right now, I'd be willing to take an entry on it. Right? Like look right here at the volume. Anytime we've gotten up here, we've exhausted and then fallen away. Exhausted, fallen away. And we're right there again. Right? So I'm just wondering if we need a UTAD. You know what I mean? Which is, we've got these larger exhaustion points that we've had in previous days. That's like maybe more around like here. I'm just wondering if we need to really blow this thing out or if we just don't have enough selling. I mean, the thing is we maybe just don't have enough selling, so we'll see what happens. The PLTR play was beautiful. I loved this play. Look at the hard sell, the exhaustive volume, the reoffer, and the buy off of S3, the movement to R3, gold. Right? Adaptive ATR limits. They're the AAL adaptive ATR limits by BruzzX, which are mine. Anything by BruzzX are mine. We are an indicator tandem. He is permanently affixed to me like a backpack. You actually don't realize that he's like right here, right now. Got a little scared for a second. Woo! So there we go. Awesome. Please share how to make money with the least possible risk. I love this. LA is the play. Lower range play A. Okay. I'll explain to you exactly how to make the most money possible with the least amount of risk, because it's how I trade, or at least how I manage my risk. No Dr. V today. She has like the big flu that's like destroying half the world right now. Yeah, I mean, I'm already short Nvidia. I've been short Nvidia, and hopefully it will work. So here's what we got going. Come on. Thank you. So when we're talking, there is one tried and true method that I have experienced that actually allows you to make the most amount of money with the least amount of risk. And that is by taking one entry, taking one exit, and taking one trade a day. One entry, one exit, one round trip a day. No partials, right? No ads. It is by far the easiest way to make the most amount of money with the least amount of risk. So here's how I would recommend running your stops, right? So if you're perfect strategy, by the way, like David is saying, for smaller accounts, right? Because it also allows you to spread out PDT. You can take one trade a day, right? And you're not going to pattern day trade either, right? So you can actually just use a cash account this way, right? And you're not going to like, you're not going to blow your stuff out. Right. And trust me, I've worked with, so when I say that I've worked with hundreds of traders, I don't mean that I've like had hundreds of traders that I've been around. I mean, I've reviewed the trades of day after day, week after week for hundreds of traders, right? Like through my mentoring program that I've been running for about a half a decade now. right, that I now do in conjunction with Dr. V. I have looked at more individual traders' trades than you've seen of your own trades. And I've done that times 100, right? So when I talk about what I'm talking about massive experience that I've seen based upon working with massive amounts of people. The vast majority of the people I've worked with that have become successful do it taking one trade a day. By the way, this is why so many of us like mirroring or copy trading our accounts, right? Because we take that concept and we spread it out all on one trade across all of our accounts and just give it all we've got and see if it works, right? And if it doesn't work, we just stop, right? Because how many in here, give me a number one right now. Throw me a number one. If we're all being honest here, how many here number one up? If you go through your stats, your first trade of the day is generically the trade you hit. Your second trade of the day is generically a trade you lose, regardless of whether you hit your first trade or not. And your third trade is your winning trade, should you have lost two trades, but that trade never has enough profit to overcome the loss from the first two. I'm telling you, I've seen hundreds of traders as P&L over years. I know how this works for it's just stuff, right? This is why the one trade works, right? Because if you have three trades and those three trades can't get you back to the one trade, then what's the point of taking three trades? Right? The one trade always ensures an equal distribution, right? Whenever you're talking about the attritional battle that is stock trading, right? Your attritional battle that you're fighting, right, generically lines up that way, right? So exactly, and a lot of the times, insane trader, your first one's a winner, and then you take 3 or 4 trades just to give that profit back, and then you're frustrated, right? Because you're giving that profit back. You know you should have just stopped. Now you're giving what we call a soul tax, right? This is a Dr. V term, actually, that I enjoyably steal. You know what I mean? We talk about a soul tax. You know what I mean? Like that, like the behavioral slippage is a soul tax. You know what I mean? It's not that you've lost money. It's that you feel almost like kind of like violated in like a way, right? And it creates all of this like now you've got some real behavioral stuff to worry about, right? Because it's you know what I mean? Like not okay, right? So and not for nothing, we got to recognize the connection to gambling here. You know what I mean? How many of you, and I'll tell this story. This is a real, true story that happened 1000% at the gate. Sorry, no, racetrack gas station right down the road from here. Okay, I went into the racetrack gas station. I had $40 cash. I went into the racetrack gas station. I was feeling spicy. I decided to buy 2 lottery ticket scratchers, right? $20 each. I won $400. Yes, I have never won a scratcher in like my entire life. This is so amazing. I must be like, I'm so excited. Like, this is great. I finally did it. Guess what I decided to go ahead and do? Go ahead, guess. Guess what I did? I bought more. Yeah. Yeah, I went ahead and I went ahead. Hey, well, now that that happened, right, I'm gonna go ahead and buy $400 worth of $20 scratchers. Right? I'm gonna buy $400 worth of $20 scratchers. And this is what happened. I swear to God. Out of that 400, I won back 200. Then I bought 200 worth of scratchers. Out of 200, I won back 100. And then I bought 100 worth of scratchers. Out of that 100, I ended up with about like 25. I'm not really sure why there was like a weird like sudden gap from like everything going 50, 50, 50, and then all of a sudden I'm down at like 25. Well, now I'm at 25, right? And now I'm at 25. I can't buy that many scratchers anymore, right? So maybe I should stop. No, No, I'm not going to stop. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and buy $5 scratchers. And then I had $10 left. Two $5 scratchers, $5 left, one $5 scratcher, blown up. Right? Done. Right? So, but it just proves what happens when you're trading if you don't just stop when you lose. Right? Like you have to stop because there is a statistical reality to winning and losing, right? You can't you can't just keep doubling down. So has anyone heard of the martingale strategy? Give me a number two if you've heard of both of these. If you haven't heard of either, say the name of the one you have not heard. Have you heard of the martingale strategy and or the Monte Carlo fallacy? And we're going to talk gambling for a minute because this really fits. Okay, so we have a couple of just no's. Okay, so I love this. Okay, great. Okay, so the martingale strategy is a strategy that was developed quite a while ago, and it is a strategy of doubling down. Right? It works until it doesn't. Absolutely, INT. Right? It's the martingale strategy, it is the strategy of doubling down, and it's particularly effective on games like blackjack. Right? Blackjack, like if you're playing with a bunch of your friends, right? Blackjack has a really high hit ratio, right? Like 1 in 10 in blackjack, I believe, is the common hit ratio with splitting and all of that other crap, right? So if you're able to, so imagine you lose and it's $5 when you lose. So on the next bet, you bet $10, you lose. On the next bet, you bet $20, you lose. The next bet, 40, and then 80, and then 160, and then 320, right? But as long as you can continue doubling down, since there's a 1 in 10 ratio, you're very likely that you're going to win, right? So how does Vegas stop everyone from doing this? Table limits, right? This is why there's table limits, right? Because a vast majority of people could go in there and do it often enough that it would be detrimental to the house. So the house has table limits, right? So you can only bet up to $100 per hand. Well, if you're betting at $10 or if you're betting at $25 increments, but there's a $100 table limit, so let's say you start off at 5 and then it's 10 and then it's 20 and then it's 40, you can't get to 10 by the time you get to 100, right? So, and this is what happens with account limits, right, for you. This is why in trading, doubling down doesn't really work, right? Because there is a house limit and that house limits your an account, right? So, and there is only so much doubling down any trader, no matter how much of the size the trader is going to do until they're eventually out of the ability to do that and they're locked in their position. Right. So the martingale strategy is highly known as the doubling down strategy, where every time like you get into a position, it makes a new low. As it gets lower, you buy more. Right. So this goes very synonymous with averaging down right into a position. Right. As the position goes lower or as it goes higher, you're shorting more and more and more as it goes higher. Right. You're averaging down. Now there are ways to average down, right? Which is you could start with like half your risk. And then if it gets higher, add more risk. If it gets higher, add so that you end up at full risk by a certain point and then exit. Doable, complicated, right? But yeah, doubling down is the martingale. Now, the Monte Carlo fallacy is actually something that happened in Monte Carlo. I forget the year. I'm pretty sure it was like late 1800s, early 1900s. It happened a really long time ago. And basically what happened is everyone was watching a roulette game. And during this roulette game, the wheel landed on the same number. I think it was a black number. It landed on the same number 5 times or so in a row. Now, for anyone who's played roulette, you know that the chances of it hitting, if the chances of it hitting that color and that number again, right, after hitting it 5 times was, let's chat GPT this real quick. Hold on, chat will know. If chat GPT, hold on, let me get open Brave. Let's get the real odds on this, just because I've never run the odds on this, and I think it'll be hilarious to do. What are the odds of hitting the same black number and space in roulette if that space and number has been hit 5 times previously? One in 3 billion, as high and is at minimum, according to just this odd calculation, right? 6 spins in a row, you'd be talking like a 1 in 3 billion, right? So now let's see, how many times did we hit the same number? It'll figure out the spelling. So there's no chance. So in the famous Monte Carlo gamblers, the roulette wheel, yep, 1913, I was right. See? Useless repository of information, of useless information, right? The roulette wheel landed on black 26 times in a row. But yet the chances of doing it 6 times in a row are 1 in 3 billion. So what does this mean? It can happen, right? No matter how good your strategy is, no matter how good you think you are, no matter how good you think the odds are in your favor, no matter how many times you know the system, the best system, the whatever the thing is, if you do not manage your risk, you will die. You will lose, because there will always be that one time to take advantage of your one moment of behavioral slippage that will destroy you. And everybody in this room was hitting that same number, knowing that there was almost no chances that that could possibly hit black again. And yet it did it 20 more times. And every single person that was involved in that lost their butts. They lost their butts. So this is what shows you, like, this is, no matter how good you think you are, no matter how good your strategy is, you honor your stinking stops, right? And you hold your winners, right? Because that's how you're going to make money in the market. So all of this came off of, I can soapbox any question, my friend. I can soapbox any question, right? So for instance, I am still holding Tesla. This whole time we've been talking and we're in, I'm still holding this same exact position. Am I stressed out? Am I looking at it and staring at it? And am I worrying about the thing? No. Did I tell you it's okay if it loses? It's my one trade. If it doesn't work, I don't care. I had a great day yesterday. I had a great day to start the year, right? So we don't, we don't need to be worried about these things. If it works, great. We had a beautiful call on PLTR, by the way, too. So yeah, come on, get back sideways, my little thing. There we go. Yeah, the book structure definitely feels a little bit better. It seems like we're selling more now, so thank goodness. Good read, Allie. So Anyway, so the best way to manage is this way, right? What I can take is so I like to actually, I'm one of the few people you're going to meet that will actually partial my losers. So what do I mean by partially my losers? So what I mean is I have a maximum risk that I'm willing to risk, right? So like let's say we have a double top, right? And I go short here, and I'm going to risk $500 on this trade, right? But that's my maximum risk. So if I take this trade, I'll click above an institutional level, set my stop in there, and that gives me my target. But then I'll pull my stop down to here. Because if it goes above this level right here, I'm wrong already. Right? So I actually am not going to risk 500. It'll actually probably only be about 200. Right? But I'm going to still go for its 4-time multiple or the level. If S3 is down here, like on Tesla, when this goes down, I'm still aiming for S3. Right? Which S3 on this Tesla position will be like it'll be quite a trade. Right? I think S3 will be somewhere, if this managed to get all the way to S3, hold on. S3 would have been a lovely, it will be a lovely, my target's somewhere in right about here probably. So it'll be like an extra R or two. Right? So now, does that mean this trade's a winner? No, but I just don't care. You know what I mean? It's going to win or it's going to lose. And this is why I really want to show everyone these stats. And this is why I want to talk to everybody about this. Yeah, I generically only I take more trades if I'm winning, Sean. So if my first trade's a winner, I am willing to give myself an additional trade. If that trade's a winner, then I will give myself an additional trade. So I overtrade when I'm winning. If my first trade's a loser, I'll stop trading for the day immediately. It's just it just works a lot better. So for me, I'm always trying to limit my downside as much as possible while maximizing my upside. So like on Tesla, our ATR is $17.36. So my expectation here, like ATR low is sorry about that. ATR low is all the way down near S4. So I think it's reasonable to shoot to S3, but it's probably going to be an afternoon run. I mean, it's already 11:30. We really haven't brought in the volume. I do quite enjoy that the last time we went for high of day, we did not make it. So I still feel like I've got the best price of the day. So I'm just not gonna touch it. You know what I mean? And I want to keep just letting this thing go, because if we can find these sellers, you can see once we sell, we move very quickly when we sell well today. So we've got nice order distribution to the downside right now, plenty of limit buys to throw the price into, and we have an incredibly large seller to the top side with what seems to be a lack of interest in buying. So I don't, my like synopsis here would be we don't have enough volume to go buy this big order. So we're gonna capitulate and we're gonna run this downside book and fill these bids to the downside first. Right? Then we'll go up and see about handling that order. So, but we'll see what happens. They may need to go up and hit the order. We might get a big UTAD up into 440. That could also happen at this point. Like the way this order structure is here, we could get a really big UTAD, that blasts through. It'll take me out of my position. It'll be very annoying. And then it'll be what it is. And then we'll cry about it a little bit together. Kumbaya. And then we'll move on. Tesla does like doing Tesla things. Piece of junk sometimes, but I love the position. I'm so happy with the position. I love my entry. Like on the 1 minute, look at my entry on this thing. I'm so happy with my entry. Like, I mean, it's just really pretty. I got the buy, I got the indecision, I got the new low, I got the offer and the new low, the pullback, great stop placement. I mean, dang. I mean, I just can't, there's nothing else I could do to be any better of a trader on this trade. You know what I mean? At this point, it's just it's out of my hands. You know what I mean? Like this isn't my fault if this doesn't work. You know what I mean? I kicked butt on this trade. So all the indicators that I'm using, this right here is Market Atlas, which is a part of the tradingterminal.com suite. This little chart here is DOS Pro Trader. Because I execute equities on DOS because its order routing is just the bomb. Ooh, I want to talk to you about something. Are you guys okay if I confuse the crap out of you for a minute? In a minute. And then all of the indicators on my trading view screen here are all mine. They're all developed by BruzzX. I want to tell you guys about smart order routing and how smart order. I was talking with a buddy of mine who's an exchange engineer. He works for the NYSE, and it's been like that all day. He's an exchange engineer on the NYSE, and he was talking to me about how front running orders works, and I thought it would be really fun to kind of explain to you some of the stuff, like some of the institutional stuff that's going on right now out there. So is anybody here actually aware of what front running is? Front running is cutting in line. Exactly. So when you're we'll just talk about this while I get stopped out of this position. We'll leave it on though so you can see me get stopped out. RTY finally took off. So here's what front running is. So what happens is when you go into the when you go to ask for an order, right, and you're sending a route or an order, let's say you're utilizing DOS Pro. Or actually, we won't use DOS as an example. Let's say you're using TradingView, because this would happen more in TradingView anyway. So you're in TradingView, and let's say you want to buy, you send in a market order. And I do not believe Dr. V will be in the webinar room at noon either today, I wouldn't imagine. When I spoke to her earlier, there was no speaking. So it did not happen. So I would not expect to see her today. So you go to send an order, and when you send an order, this order goes into what is called a smart order router. Right? This order gets sent into a smart order router. Right? So when it gets sent into the smart order router, this order router is going to hit all of the different exchanges. Give me some exchange names, everybody. Yep. 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 There we go. Right? So we have all of these exchanges, but guess what's really interesting about these exchanges? What's unique about what would be different about each of these different exchanges? What's the difference between all of them? And it's more interesting than you think. Why speed? What could impact the speed, JD? Location. Location. Alex is right. Distance, right? So what happens, right? It's the location of the equipment. So what happens is there are basically what happens is, let's say this is an order of distance and this is not, right? Let's say this is an order of distance and it goes from this direction to this direction as far as distance from the exchange, right? When you send your order in to the NYSE, or it sends it down, or into it, it's going to actually route this order. But there are people and systems that are sniffing that. So when someone puts in an order, and let's say they want to buy on market 1 million shares, what's going to happen is it's going to split the 1 million across all of these different exchanges, right? So it's going to buy 100,000 here, 100K here, and so on, 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 and so on. So, but since each one of these are further away from the order, what happens is, as this is on its way to the bottom one, an entity sniffing that order will come off that order and race it to here. And then race it to here. And then race it to here. And then race it to here. And race it to here. So then when this person, so this is what causes sometimes an incredibly large explosion in buying at a certain level, because what happens is when they fire their market order, the front runners front run that market order at the speed of lightning. They front run that market order and they buy ahead of it, right? And then they sell it on market ahead of it. And they capture all the spread difference between. So, but this is what causes, whenever you see a lot of those really big pops that just explode, where did that happen? Where did that come from? Why all the volume? And why we exhaust our buyers, right? This is what's happening. We've had a very large market level buy come in, and then the algorithms caught it, and then they front ran it, and it exploded the price. And then, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Like 20 millions per microsecond, like crazy money beyond imagine. Right? So, we definitely did, that. Let's see here. All right. So finish it off. So this is one of those things. So the reason why I'm teaching you all this stuff, right, is because I want you, the reason why I consider this concept, right, to be market alchemy, right, is because I don't want you, I don't, how do I say this right? I don't want you coming to this channel because you need to come to this channel. I want you to come to this channel because you want to be at this channel. You know what I mean? It is my endeavor to teach every single one of you all the knowledge you need to just go away and not need me ever again. But I think because we're going to build such great rapport in the process, you're just going to hang and help me support other people. At least that's what I'm hoping. You know what I mean? But either way, it's okay. I do perfectly fine doing this trading thing, and I'm not really interested in like fame or any of those kind of things, right? I just really enjoy trading with other people. You know, I mean, it's so much funner to be hanging out here, hanging out with you on YouTube, even when we're losing money together. It's better to do that like this, you know, but the alchemy is what's really important because so many times I watch people watching these gurus and people that are trying to teach, and this big volume burst comes in or some big thing happens. Oh my God, what happened? Everyone's like freaking out. And I'm like, well, what are you talking about? We were at S3 in a higher, wider range. This is where an algorithm should buy. And we just saw a buy. Well, why is there so much volume? This is why there's so much volume, right? They're not going to just front run any order, right? It needs to be a big order, right? It needs to be something worth executing on, right? So these large volume sets are a pretty good indication that we have some kind of large institutional activity because they've actually decided to front run this one. So you get a lot more volume than you normally would. There's a lot more shares exchanged, right? But those shares are bought and sold very quickly. Not all of them are put into portfolios, right? Most of it's market level, right? That's what makes stock trading so interesting. Higher range. Anytime we close higher today or yesterday, sorry, anytime we close higher to yesterday than we did the previous day, we are now in a higher range, right? And that's all, right? Higher ranges do not necessarily mean we're bullish, although by closing higher than the previous day's close, it does seem a little better, right? But we do short higher ranges all the time, so it can certainly be fun. So Tesla's probably going to stop me out. So we are running towards that now. Let's go pop over and watch me take a loss on Tesla here. We're running for 438. You can see my stop is at 438.60. I'm sitting just above. So when I put my stops, I like using, I don't like putting it like at 400 or right at the cam level. I like picking the next institutional level. So like the cam level, for instance, is at 438.30. Where is it at? So I like sticking it above that. So if it goes through 438.30 and wicks the quartered increment, maybe I survive. Right, but at this point, unfortunately, this beautiful trade has turned ugly on us, huh? It happens. So look at our order book structure. It really looks like they want this order. 440 is happening. It looks like it's happening. So look at how empty we are right down here. Not a lot of involvement to the bid side. So we'll see what we do. But this one looks to be pretty solid. RTY is just rocking. RTY was a lovely call. It just overshot. Like it just never, it had so much trouble exhausting, but it was supposed to be a higher, wider move today. It went beautifully into this level. And then look at the struggle as it pushed lower. It really couldn't get a good sell going, but I couldn't get into it. It was nasty. Oh wow, look at gold. Gold was trying to sell and it offered, but it could never get a good sell going right there. Boom. Really lovely sell. But after that, we bought and then just kept buying. So that's a big squeeze right now. Wow. How much is the subscription to Market Atlas? I unfortunately don't know that off the top of my head. So I don't want to say because I don't know. I would just go to tradingterminal.com and the options are right there. I think it's around 100. Get in now, man. I don't know. But with Atlas, you're not just you got to think about though, you're not just getting Atlas though. When you buy Atlas or subscription, right, you're getting tradingterminal.com, right? with all that. So, I mean, you get a lot. I'm really excited for all the new trade tracking stuff to come out. Andrew's doing some really hard work on some good trade tracking stuff. And so I'm really excited to see how that comes together. Oh, QQQ. It's time. Simba, it's time. Oh, we're at R4 on Qs. This could be fun. I'm going to go ahead and throw one on here and see if this one works. I like this spot. So we'll call this a twofer. This is exactly where this should be. Let's try that one. All right, we got them. So, and we'll let Tesla to marinate. We'll see if this one stops, and if we get two, we'll definitely be done. So, I really like this one. I've been waiting for us to get up here on Qs for quite a while. So this is a great spot for this. I'm hoping NQ gets into this. Is NQ in the same spot? No, NQ didn't get as high. Oh, this is such a fun spot for this. Yeah, we got a solid order down here too. Okay. So I'm in because we had the indecision, we alerted, and then we made the new low. So I'm in on the pull here. I threw my stop above R4. If this goes up and goes out, I mean, it's kind of a no-brainer as far as just getting out of this one. So I really like this attempt. So two good entries. So I'm stoked. No. I didn't rush at all. This is exactly where I want to get this one. No, I think actually Atlas reads on the ETFs really well. You can see here there's a bit couple of really big orders to the downside right here and right here. But yeah, I mean, so what you can do on Atlas to kind of help is if you go to the config, cut off your lower a little bit. And it lets you kind of lean it out a little bit, get rid of some of just the noise, and then cut your top end off just a little bit. And you can actually you can get rid of some of the noise that way too, like just a little, like right there, like 98, 97, not sit like right there, there. So you can see we have this large order here, and then but you can see we have a really deep dark order down here to the downside, and lots of connectivity to it. As Atlas like improves, I mean, it'll get more and more features to it, because the cool thing that I really like about what the direction Atlas is in is that Andrew is building Atlas around he's building Atlas around the traders. You know what I mean? So as the traders say, "Hey, I need this. Hey, I want this." You know what I mean? He makes sure those things. So there's obviously other programs that may have like a lot more bells and whistles. But most of that is just bloat. That really, really slows down how fast the data comes in. And one thing I really like about Atlas a lot is how fast it is. Like when you're switching from a chart to a chart, it loads, right? If you want to go look at RTY, it loads. You know what I mean? So it's fun. Like I like how fast it is. because especially if you're trading equities, you need it to load pretty fast. So fun though, huh? I feel like anybody see the movie Dumb and Dumber? You know that part where he says, "So between you and me, like what do you think the chances are of, you know, you and me, you know, Tesla? What are the chances you think, between you and me this is gonna work out?" And then right now Tesla's looking at me like 1 in a million. And I'm like, so you're saying there's a chance? Oh, that's me right now, right? That's me right now. So you're saying there's a chance, Tesla. Oh, NQ, my boy. So you're saying there's a chance. I love that movie. Tesla, don't you go breaking my heart. I'm quoting songs now. So yeah, but so Shannon, I'm losing money and this dude is laughing. Yeah. Yeah, it's unfortunate if you're losing money. I'm not making money right now, by the way. I've been in the same position this whole time. But trading is very fun. So, if you're in a point right now that you're negative, and yeah, I hope, because if you're in a point where you're like negative and because I'm happy, you're not happy, I would highly discourage you from trading entirely. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like this is a rough game. So this is like you got to be a mental Olympian to do this silly trading thing, and you're gonna lose a lot more than you're gonna win. So you gotta love it because it is a pain in the butt. Yeah, NQ probably will trade break my heart. It's making new highs after 10:30, so it's losing some statistical variance here. I do like the way it got up here though. Don't you go breaking my heart. Shannon, that's funny. I lost 1% trading random trades this afternoon, but still up for the day, but made some rough calls. This is why I'm not live yet. Yeah, Beth, I mean, that's the thing. It's a good reason to not be live yet. Wait till you're worthy. And I mean that to yourself, right? Performance comes, and so I learned this from my performance teacher, right? So I've been playing instruments since I was little. And I've had so one of my many blessings in my life was a lovely woman by the name of Valerie Gillespie. She taught me how to play instruments, and really taught me really everything I know about performance. And one of the things that Valerie taught me was that performance is when ability meets knowledge of ability. Right. So it's not only that in order to be a performer, it's not only good enough that you know it, but you have to know you know it, right? So if you know it, right, then you have the ability to perform, right? But until then, it's just not happening, right? So take the time, right? So that because they'll say this thing, Beth, like they'll say you'll know when you're ready. Believe it or not, you will, right? Like listen to your body. right? Like if you're trading and when you're trading, you're feeling very anxious and, ask yourself, am I present right now? Like, am I in this trade? Am I in this moment? Or is my mind somewhere else thinking about some other thing? You know what I mean? You should, and then listen to your body. Like right now, this whole Tesla trade, I know this is a good trade for me. Why? Because I haven't had any anxiety. You know what I mean? I've just been in this trade. Even as it's coming back to lose, it doesn't bother me. This trade feels very natural for me to be in. Even to lose this trade feels very natural. Right. I'm not making my decisions right now based upon what I think could happen or what I really feel like is going to happen. Right. You know what I mean? It's just happening. I'm just doing what I have already predetermined, right? When I get up to this area, I'm going to take a short near R3 when it calls, and then I'm going to set a target on this thing and I'm going to hold it. After that, everything else is outside of me, right? So, all right, everybody, I'm going to go ahead and wrap this session. A reminder to everybody, Dr. V is unfortunately quite sick. So for our Bear Bull Traders members, there will be no noon back trading futures. So I appreciate you all for coming. Much love, everybody. And I will see you Friday. Nathan tomorrow. Bye. Come on, Tesla.